Nothing here is black and white. Nothing here is black and
doing? All good? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just getting this sorted. How's everybody doing? Glad, how you doing, mate? Sin, good to see you. Everybody's week's off to a good start. Yeah, like I said, I might have to dash out in a second. He hasn't arrived yet, but yeah, I might have to dash out in a second. But yeah, you promised like 6:45, and then it was like, I'll be there before 7, and now here we are. Yeah, here we are. So yeah, so I can actually show you really. Let me see if I can show you what I was working on. Let's see. It's kind of like this, like full body kind of lightbox thing. Let me just I just open it up in Photoshop and I'll show you guys. Yeah. So yeah, so I kind of I did not know you could hotkey the scenes. My bad. Glad I spotted that. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So it's kind of like this full body like light box type thing. I made it in satellite 3D for kind of scale. But yeah, you can kind of see what I was kind of going for. I needed the gaps for the let me just turn that off. Needed the gaps for the actual lights and that sort of stuff through here at the back. And I needed some kind of way to kind of get the perspex on top, so it's just like the lip and that sort of stuff. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, there you go. Like for scale, right? For scale. So I'm sure the carpenter just thinks I'm some sort of raving perv with a fetish or something like that. But yeah. The box isn't the issue. It was kind of like the perspex that was the issue. It was kind of tricky, how thick to make it and that sort of stuff. Yeah. So we'll see. I think I ended up going with like 5mm or something. I forget what we ended up going with, but yeah. I have no idea how good this box will be. I guess it only really needs to work for kind of one shoot. Like when I was asking people online, they were like, yeah, it's gonna 600 to 1,000 easy, mate, easy. Couldn't do it for any less than that. And then this guy was like, yeah, all right, I'll have a go for 300. So yeah, I mean, it may, like, maybe he got the measurements wrong and it's gonna come like in millimeters, right? Who knows? But I mean, he's got my address now. For the sake of 300 quid, I'm just going to take it. I'm not going to argue with the guy. Big brolic man turns up on the doorstep with a footstool. I'm just going to go, yeah, it's your money. So we'll see. But yeah, I kind of wanted a couple of ideas to shoot with it, and then I probably just need to get some diffusion film across the top. For the perspex and that sort of thing. This was kind of measured to fit the Rocalite Titan X1s, so 2 of them in the back, which are like the big LED panels that will kind of sit in the back. Yeah, and we'll see. yeah, we shall see what comes of it, if he even turns up. Yeah, still hasn't shown. Yeah. We can redirect people to my newest vid. Yeah, give me the link, Vlad. I will put it on play when he arrives, if you like. Yeah. I'm surprised you're using centimeters for measurements, or as opposed to millimeters, right? Yeah, true. Oh, you're talking about should I be using inches? Yeah. 600 to 1,000 England dollars. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. English pounds. Have a go. Doesn't sound like a conflict. Honestly, everybody else was a lot more. So I'll see. What is the glass you will use? Hopefully Perspex. Yeah, hopefully Perspex. We'll see. Yeah. Exactly, Alan. Yeah, how you doing anyway? Yeah. 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 There's some noise going on outside, so maybe he's here. Yeah. Pass us the link, Vlad, and I will put it up. Yeah. What have you been working on now, anyway? Anything good? Anything exciting? I saw the you sent me. Oh, he's here. 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. Well, it's full size. That's the Perspex, like an inch thick. That's a proper job, that is. That is, he's done a good job of that. He's done a good job of that. That sounds aggressive, I know, man. You gotta, whew. He was scared for a second there. That is, that's perfect. He's done a bang up job on that. Yeah. That is exactly. Perspex is like an inch thick. I was worried about safety and that sort of stuff. Somebody sitting on it. But yeah, he's beautiful. That is sturdy. That is very sturdy. I got a shoot tomorrow. I wonder if I could try and. It's not painted or anything, but I could at least test it. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Those of you just tuning in, wondering what the hell I'm banging on about. I just got a carpenter to make this box that was kind of big enough for model to kind of sit on, and yeah. I can't believe how thick that Perspex is. The Perspex weighs a ton. The Perspex is the most expensive thing, just for safety wise, right? And yeah. Sit on it and test it. I'm not gonna sit on stream. Just imagine. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna risk that. But okay. Yeah, I think I'll be up late tonight. See if I can dig out some diffusion film to put over that, or cut it to get in there for the shoot tomorrow, just to kind of test it. Thing is, with the Titan X1s, like they're big old yeah. Yeah, they're big old lights. Yeah, these fellas. Yeah, but 2 of those on the floor in the bottom. Yeah, there you go. There's old rod there. Yeah, so 2 of those on the floor in the bottom just slid in, lying on their backs. They also have obviously inbuilt diffusion, like the electronic diffusion in them as well. So I think it could be good. Yeah, it could be good. Yeah. So especially using LEDs as well like that, should be a very quick drop off of light. Could be interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know how I get on. Yeah. Nerdy deep dive. Oh, so let's talk about this video. Have a look at that in a second. Yes, nerdy deep dive in the curves and how they work in Lightroom, as we have 3 ways to apply curves, but they were applied in very specific order. Oh, really? Okay, interesting. So that's the way we can do a sweepstakes before. So, Sin, I tell you, here's something interesting on that. I was, look, I'm not a huge AI fan, right? I really don't use it. I know a lot of people kind of use ChatGPT a lot and that sort of stuff. So when I was doing the plans for this, I was trying to work out how thick the perspex needed to be, right? How thick the perspex needed to be to hold like an average adult woman, on there. And like it's like ChatGPT is able to kind of give you at least a guideline, right? And it asks you, what's the, like, how sharp is the point of contact going to be? Is it going to be like stilettos or the weight spread? And then you can go thickness based on the ledge all the way around, no support in the middle and that sort of stuff, and then the average weight. So it does like stuff like that. The ChatGPT, again, would it hold up in a court of law? No, of course not. But in terms of trying to work out maths and science stuff that I really don't have any clue about. I didn't know how thick that perspex needed to be. You could just go, well, let's just buy the thickest piece possible, but it's super expensive at that size and that thickness. So yeah, like trying to work stuff out like that, if you're just inexperienced and trying to come up with a plan, then like I will admit I did use it for that, and I was pretty impressed at some of the data it kind of spat back for something unique like that. Yeah. It's in the pit. Let's see that. Make sure the lights have enough air. That's a good point, Vlad. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, where are the fans on that? I suppose I could. I've got a Nanlite Pavo Slim in the back there. Yeah, it's a good shout though. So the fans are on the floor. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I could prop them up on something because it's definitely deep enough. Yeah, it's good shout, Vlad. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you got the flat piece here, and the fans are kind of recessed there. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's good. It's a good shout though. It's a good shout. Maybe I put some planks down just to keep it, like lengthways, just keep the fans off the floor. Yeah. Had this on screen while looking at rotor lights, and it looks super cool. Such a photo. Mate, you could definitely do it. I mean, I guess it depends if you want to do the full body, right? I mean, I will say, Sin, I'm not sure whether you're taking the piss or not, but if you're being serious, I will say that the most expensive part is the perspex, all right? Because looks like he's done this in multiple sheets of MDF rather than thick MDF and that sort of stuff, so it's super rock solid, which you wouldn't need to support the weight, plus your perspex wouldn't need to be as thick, so I don't think it would actually cost that much. Yeah. What the hell? Oh, I did see that in the thumbnail. What on earth? Oh, is this for like event photography? Interesting, in a single case. So Vlad just said he saw this on the thumbnails when it popped up. That's funny, man. That's funny. Yeah, 400 quid though. 48-inch ring light. I'm thinking about hanging it vertically. That could be cool. If I could find some excuse for Essential Photo to send that to me. I hang it above the model coming down. Could be cool. Yeah. 400 quid though. Yeah. Maybe I change the fan on the side, with the opening of the wood ventilation. That's right. I've got a like a leaf blower that I use for shoots. I could just pop that in there as well. I could just push it out. Yeah, keep it moving. Yeah. Be a bit of a struggle to hide it in my 2-bed flat. True. I mean, that's pretty creepy with people coming round, seeing a full, it's just full body sized coffin, stood there. Yeah. Right, and so apologies for the slightly odd start to the live stream. If you just tuned in and are still here, well done, welcome. Every couple of weeks we do these live streams. I was away shooting in Boston last week, so I missed it last week, so we're doing it now. But every couple of weeks we do these. Usually just hang out and chat about some latest releases in terms of the photographic world. Usually airing more towards lighting and that sort of stuff. But chat about a couple of the news stories and that sort of stuff, all photo related, and then we go through a sort of a specific topic each week, and then cover your images. So if you missed it and you wanted to submit your work, you can do so in here. So every week on a Monday on my Facebook page, we do a share a shoot, and in the comments you can just post your shots in the comments, and we can take a look and go through them, see what you guys have been working on. I've got some, I think I just checked earlier on this evening. I've got some good ones in here. Let's have a look and check all comments. That's looking cool. Some good ones, all nice. We've got some artifacting in the front with lens flares and that sort of stuff. That's cool. Anthony trying to get me banned. Respect it. It's usually Sin trying to get me banned on something. Very diplomatic this week, Sin. Like it. There's some good stuff in here, guys. Good stuff. People just sharing BTS of what they've been working on. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah, so if you're interested and want to share your work so we can check it out, have a look later on, then we can do that. Got some good stuff in there to go through by the looks of it. How you doing, Jamie? Good to see you, mate. You missed out on all the hoopla. So topic as well, this week we're going to be looking at, like I said, last week I was in Boston doing a shoot, and I was using a Fujifilm GFX camera, so medium format digital camera. I picked it up a couple of weeks ago, wanted to kind of test it out for the shoot and that sort of stuff. And one of them, like, believe it or not, one of the core reasons I actually picked up the GFX was to kind of use some of the medium format lenses that I have as well. I kind of wanted to see what the camera could really do. Obviously megapixels, right? Cool. But really like exposure latitude, and more specifically for the sort of work that I do, color. So this was shot on the GFX. We're going to open up Lightroom a little bit later on, and we can kind of inspect some of these raw files, and I kind of want to show you some of the differences between like some of the vintage lenses and like the modern GFX lens. So I got a modern, I think it's a 63mm on the GFX, which is about 50mm in 35mm terms, right? So standard lens, beautiful lens, but kind of interested to see the same shot pretty much side by side with the the actual modern Fujifilm lens versus the old like 6x7 Pentax lens from the 1970s, and that's what this is shot on. Absolutely, spoiler alert, absolutely beautiful lens, right? Blown away by it. So kind of dig into that, and like the drop off as well, like the aperture drop off, depth of field, nuts, absolutely crazy. So have a look at that. I've also got the high resolution files, like the retouch files, to give you as a link if you're interested, just because of the stream bitrate and all that sort of stuff and compression. Like when we're zooming in, I'm going, oh my god, look amazing, and you guys are going, I can't see it. So I got a link here which I will share at the time. Yeah, so like the high res files here, so we can have a look, and I'll palm those over as well. Yeah. Let's have a look. Anything here? Let's speak with the old man. Hope he's well. Hope he's well, Jamie. Hope he's well. Darius, how you doing, mate? I was tempted to pop up a censored one. So I was just scrolling through Instagram before we went live, Sin, and I saw like your image pop up with the big paint swish across it, and I'm like, I bet Sin's gonna put that in there. Looked like you held back this time around. Always appreciate, mate. Okay, so let's have a quick dig into what we've been looking at in the news recently. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. One thing that did come across my desk a couple of days ago was this little Godox flash. Now, hold on before you walk away rolling your eyes. This was interesting for a couple of reasons, which go over. And look, I think this came out, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago or something like that, maybe a little bit longer ago, and I kind of missed it or didn't pay attention to it at the time. And then I saw somebody talking about what it was doing. I was like, okay, kind of interesting. Now, these baby flashes, like Godox are just knocking these out like all the time, hence why it's kind of difficult to keep up with what they're releasing. I mean, we've kind of often joked on here that Godox is kind of releasing a new product like almost every week, right? So it's kind of difficult to keep up on what they're doing. And we spoke about these mini flashes or these baby flashes on here in the past. You know, one of these little fellas here, I think it's the IT20 or whatever. So baby little thing, and you know, it's like who is that for and that sort of stuff. And Vlad at the time pointed out, it's just like that is so close to the lens that it's actually going to cast a lens shadow, right? Because it's like so close on top, right? It needs to be above the lens so it can light if you've got a longer lens on it. So like that was kind of an issue. The other thing is that this flash very close to the actual lens is becoming a very popular look with younger people right now, and it's kind of reminiscent of like the 90s onboard flash compact digital cameras that, believe it or not, the newer generation are referring to as vintage cameras, right? And this is really weird. This is crazy to me, because this is something that those of us that have been shooting for a while may well remember the old, compact digital cameras that I'm sure we've all seen, right? Sony had a bunch at the time. We went through them in the previous stream, and I think I had an old Olympus one that I took climbing and that sort of stuff, and they were great. But what was interesting about them was that the flash. So you guys know the deal of these little cameras, right? You got the lens, and the flash was usually here, right? Like that. Now, what's kind of interesting about this is that the flash is very close to the actual lens taking the image, so it was almost created no shadow at all. Now, this is even more interesting when we turn the camera, portrait, boom, and the flash is directly above. What we see with a lot of wedding shooters and stuff now is they have their speed light on top, right? Boom, speed light on top. Then when they shoot in portrait format, the speed light is off to the side, not on top. Now you can spot these flash shots from the side a mile away. I kind of did it in a previous post where I was just like, guys, please, if you're gonna use these speed lights, then at least get a bracket or whatever it is and put them kind of above the lens, right? Which is what I would do, and what I did. It makes a huge difference. And this is again a look at these flashes that are now becoming very popular, being so close to the lens itself, right? So cute. It is cute. I will give you that. It's like the older social shots, 70s and 80s. It is. I think I know where you're going with that, but I would say like the newer TikTok generation is seeing this as the 90s, right? And they genuinely call those compact cameras now vintage, right? Believe it or not. I know it makes us feel ancient, but yeah. So that's kind of that look they're after, yeah. Terry Richardson, exactly, absolutely right. Yeah, Q Flash will be back soon. That's right. You remember those? Yeah. Oh, that was even before my time, Alan. So you may have me beat on that one. But what Alan's talking about there is they would have, weren't they single use? Alan, where you just like there would be a cube and it would burst. It basically an explosion of like gunpowder or whatever it was, and then you would take it off, turn it round, use it, take it off, turn it round like 90 degrees. So you'd have like whatever it is, like 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way around. Yeah. For some reason I was talking 6, but like can't have the top and bottom one. But yeah, and they would just keep moving. So like these little things, these cheap little things are like 40 quid, not expensive, right? And then as Vlad rightly pointed out, one of the issues was they were too close to the actual camera body itself. So what was happening is then Godox was selling these risers for like another 20 quid, which was just basically a step that for people trying to use these cute little flashes on DSLRs and that sort of stuff, and that's kind of where that came from as well, right? So they came on this little one, similar sort of thing, the IT30 Pro. So just had a few more features, but essentially the same principle, right? Very small, very very low profile, that sort of thing, right? Yeah, they rotated. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember seeing them. I think I remember seeing them in the attic from my parents and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I never actually saw them firing. Yeah, and I do sound as photography, so I see them at events and bad compacts. They love them for the lack of internet connectivity. Really? See them at events? Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, like it. Yeah, it's this like kind of flash above the lens thing is. I don't think. Let me just see if I can find it. I think I did like an article on Hardlight a million years ago. Okay, so this is what we used to do back in the day when we were assisting. Is you would be the idiot holding the flash above the photographer's head, right? This is what we used to do in the studio, and like a lot of the time it used to be the old. I think this is the so we got one here. I think this is the old. What is it? The Photo D2s or something like that. So you'd have there'd be power packs, right? And you plug in the actual head itself, and then you would have to walk around following the photographer. Wherever he went, you would have to make sure that you were holding the light above his lens, right? And again, like this is something like Rankin. There you go, like 90s. I mean, that's just it's just classic 90s photographer that Rankin there. Ellen Von Unwerth doing the same thing with her lackey here. Look, it's right above the lens, like literally just fucking touching the lens itself. So it's to give you almost no shadow at all. So this very crisp. See underneath the chin here, like almost zero shadow when it's like on axis like that. You get a little bit more down here, but yeah, this is what you'd have to do back in the day, and you'd be holding this down. Wandering around like trying to keep it above the lens, and they're moving in and you're like bashing on the lens and they tut at you, and I was like, dude, just fucking move in. So anyway, so this style, this 90s style, again, I think so Rankin doing it here as well. Some Paul Sod holding it. That's right, it's got like diffusion cover over it as well. I remember doing that. Diffusion cover over the actual dish. But look at it, yeah. I mean, like it's easy money, man. It was easy money back in the day. And look, to be fair, they're shooting film and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, some poor sod holding it above the actual lens. Yeah. So this is when I was reviewing the old Pixel Pro Cities 600, and it had a cable that you could plug in, and you could kind of do like a similar thing. It was pretty cool. But yeah, so that kind of 90s style is funny to see it coming back now. Yeah. At this point, wouldn't it be better to just get a real flash with a proper guide number and more battery? At this point, wouldn't it be better to get a real flash? So you mean a real flash? You mean what I'm kind of showing here? Is that what I mean by a real flash, like actually something above the lens like that? Is that what you mean? At this point, all the old Mets. Yeah, I do remember those. And the Meta Blitz as well. We had like the Meta Blitz. The Meta Blitz would be on like a sling, and the battery would be on your hip. Fucking crazy, man. And you'd just be like an onboard flash. But like back then, like batteries or whatever it was, or the power or the way that we were transferring the power for longer periods of time or whatever, you'd actually have this strap, yeah, with like the battery on your hip, walking around like that. Jesus Christ, man, that's wild. Yeah, absolutely wild. Yeah. Met CT45. Let's have a look. I mean, an actual speed light, not some small cute thing. So yes, look, I agree, Vlad. I agree, and I'll just kind of show you my counter to that in a second. I'm just kind of curious as to what this. See if this is a blast from the past. I don't recognize this, but oh yeah, on the old stick. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Oh, beauty, mate. That's right. Look how far away this fella is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I think unless the handle is just crammed with 16 AA's, like a lot of them were then connected to a battery around. Oh, there you go. Yeah. A battery around the waist. Oh, shoulder slung battery. Yeah. Okay. Like the original mobile phone. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The original Godox 8300 was like that, bare bulb with battery pack. Was it? Was that? I don't remember that. The OG. I was not a fan of Godox back in the day. I wasn't really. Let's see. Oh, it's a tiny little thing. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, no. Yeah, I suppose you can make that work. Yeah. No, I remember seeing this thing. Yeah. That wasn't what I was thinking of though. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at. So we got these baby things that do this. Let's look at this latest thing that they brought out. Then the IT32, right, which goes with all of them. So what's kind of interesting about this is that it swaps out, right? So the hot shoe comes out, and you think, okay, well, so you can just run it on Sony, Canon, Nikon, whatever, and that sort of stuff, right? So we could have, if you're one of those people that has multiple brands and that sort of stuff, okay, cool. But yeah, so there you go. Just snap it off. Off you go. Yeah, off you go. This is just. I'm gonna watch the video here. It's like a minute and a half. Yeah. The music is pretty cringe, but you can listen to it if you want. So did you see that? Did you blink and you miss it? So okay, so he's holding it in his hand off camera. Okay, fine. Okay, you could do that with a bunch of things already. Okay, fine. There it is, baby. There it is. There it is. Now, one thing I'm kind of interested at is, and those of us that have been shooting for a long time may have experienced this, but when you put the receiver and transceiver so close to one another, this happens if I'm shooting in the studio and I back up into the fill light, like behind me on an umbrella or something like that, and the flash will stop firing because they get too close. Obviously, I think that Godox kind of got around this. They have in the V100 I tested, the speed light a couple of months back, they had tech in there that was, you can basically dictate how far away your receiver and transceiver is going to be. So if it's, you can go like 0 to I think 3 meters or something like that, and then there's one from like 3 meters to like 50 meters or something like that. So it's actually a setting in the in the thing that talks about how far away you're going to be. So I presume that's what they're doing here, is that they have the similar sort of thing. But yeah, this is like this. I was just like, that's nuts. That's hilarious, man. That is coming back. Check it out. So like zero shadows. That's obviously not the shot he just took there, but yeah, like literally almost on the same plane as the lens itself. Now, the other issue that the old school among us may be aware of is red eyes, right? You guys been shooting long enough to know that the red eye issue that you get, which is basically the flash shining on the sort of back of the iris, basically the back of your eyeball and that sort of thing that makes it appear red. And that tends to happen when the flash is on board like that. So yeah, interesting. So they're syncing again, like Godox syncing. Godox has got their faults and that sort of stuff, but like very good syncing for all this stuff. I use the little trigger that they sent me. The thing is absolutely flawless. Yeah. So here she's just turning it to the side so she can shoot portrait bouncing off the ceiling. Did I miss it there? Because this is the one thing that I was concerned about was, okay, it's all very well for you to unplug it. Now I just have to hold it. So I couldn't see on any of the pictures or anything like that of any way to attach it to a light stand and that sort of stuff. So they kind of have a workaround here. So they have their like table stand that they can plug this into, and then that can go on a light stand, and you need like 3 extra pieces to do it. So you need the actual bit to go in there because you've just taken it off your transceiver. So now you need to put this extra thing back in there. Now you need the table plate, and now you need the bracket for the table plate to go onto the light stand. But like, you can do it. You can do it. Got that little bounce flash card in there if you need it. And now it's just using multiples of them. Do they really need to make the photographer look that corny? Right? Is that necessary? he's got the gilet. He's got the cargo shorts on. Like, Godox, come on, man! You're not doing us any favors. Because it's not. Oh, it is a gilet. Yeah, it's got like all the extra pockets and stuff. So here he's just using it as like a. I think you can set this to just be a transceiver only. I think you can. This doesn't necessarily need to always flash, so you can have it off camera, or you can have a bunch of them off camera and firing it like that. I presume he's got some gels on there as well. So, look. Godox is often known for, not being the most innovative and tend to come along and just copy a lot of other people. And it's good and bad, right? Because, one side of the coin we can go, oh my God, it's amazing that we can finally afford all this stuff. That's really cool. And on the other hand, it's like, it's kind of a little bit, cheeky, right? But this I haven't seen before. And I think this is pretty clever. Like, I don't know who this is for. But I think if you were going to get a little speed light like this, well, how much are these things? So that's the middle one. So the baby one is 40 English pounds, and then we got 67 for the slightly more advanced one, and this one is 89, so like 90 quid. Yeah, 90 quid. How much is what is that? Is it the Godox V100? Okay, so it's definitely a step up. But this thing, when I reviewed it, was absolutely incredible. Absolutely just so good. And this is somebody who has been very open about hating speed lights. Yeah, this thing was nuts. So, I think like Vlad said, look, I think if you're kind of getting into this and this sort of thing, I think personally this is probably going to see you far longer, and it's going to give you way more options. Very, very powerful in terms of not only its brightness, but TTL, all that sort of stuff that it comes with, and the quality of light you can get with it. This is a magnetic ring on here that you can pop attachments on and that sort of stuff. Very, very impressive little unit. But if you're just somebody mucking around and just wanted the onboard up above the lens flash, then cool, I guess. 8360. Okay, gotcha. So angle and bounce them. Gotcha. Okay. You know how much you dislike the speed lights and square softboxes? Exactly, Vlad. Exactly. Yeah. I think first that I've done this with the upside down TT350. Oh, really? So you've just so did you have it? Did you have it cabled? Like, did you have it cabled? Is that what you were doing? Oh yeah, okay. Just put it above the lens. Did it actually look good? Yeah. The old Godox triggers have the same 2 settings for shooting close to the heads. That's right, Sin. Yeah, like it's not something I'd come across until I had started to play with the Godox kit that they sent me. Like, because like it's always been an issue. The old Bowens would do it. The XMTs, XMSs, the XMTs did it. Where you would, like I said, if you backed up into it, you buggered, which is a pain in the ass. Or like ring flash as well. If you're shooting ring flash with a bunch of flashes, like it just won't trigger because it's too close. I have no idea about the technical settings of it, but yeah, a weird oddity. But yeah, Godox has got around it by giving you 2 options, which is really cool. Yeah. I'm literally writing a red-eye tutorial for DCW at the moment. What's DCW? What is it? Yeah, red-eye. Hardly know it. Jesus Christ. I'm the only one who doesn't want touchscreens on gear. Ooh, it's a tough one, Vlad. I know. Yeah, I tell you what. I was with you. And I think I've seen some terrible touchscreens. I was a convert when I started to use the Rotalites. The Rotalite touchscreens were just flawless. And I will say that the Godox touchscreens are not flawless. Like, you just, like, trying to get just trying to get it to work sometimes is a pain in the ass. But the Godox touchscreens were always flawless. You just, single finger, and you can get to, like, pretty much anything within 2 taps on the Rotalite, and that includes choosing the right color that you want, right? So you got the whole, you got the whole gamut there, boom, and you just slide to exactly where you want to go, and then the power, you're not turning the knobs and that sort of stuff, you're just instantly down to like 10% up to hue 260 or whatever it is, boom. I will say that I was a convert from that. The Godox ones are not flawless. Now, maybe it's just because the ones on the little triggers and that sort of stuff maybe are small. I think some of you got the new trigger, right, which is bigger, because I've got like the baby trigger, which is like that, and I think some of you said the new trigger is like a lot bigger. I was in Boston last week and we were shooting with the Pro Photo trigger. Now that was good, right, because that has the buttons down the side to choose the flash that you want. Just click that, turn the dial, hit the button, job done. So that's a nice big screen, but I don't think it's touchscreen, and I was just using it like a manual thing. Has anybody got I think I've got it here. Dog sprawled out. Yeah, so the baby one, right? So that's the baby one with the screen is kind of small. I forget. I think Godox brought out a newer one, and like the Pro Photo trigger is obviously a lot bigger, but it's got the buttons down the side here, which enable you to choose the specific light you want, and off you go. So I don't think this is touchscreen. I've never used it as a touchscreen anyway. Yeah, I've only used it a couple of times. Ideal for travel holidays. True. Yeah. I mean, you pop that on the table or balcony or whatever. Yeah. Oh, how the day turns of tables. Yeah. I'm eyeing up that speed light, which makes me laugh as I chuck my old ones out when I got proper strobes. Yeah, and look, it'd probably been at least 15 years since I'd used a speed light, maybe even longer, right? And I mean, back then, late 90s, they were just completely dumb units, right? They were just what 4 AA's in them, and then it was just like what 5 or 6 power adjustments, and they were just ugly. Just they have come such a long way, and I would never ever buy one without TTL. Now that I've tested TTL on this, it's just nuts. Yeah, I was just not even, don't even consider it if it doesn't have TTL. Like TTL on these things are so good. Yeah. Any version not quite sophisticated. Light Pix Labs Flash Q M20. Hey Steve, how you doing, man? Okay. God, you guys are digging up the old relics here. I haven't even heard of this one, Steve. Maybe I'll recognize it, but do you know what? This little treacle has slipped me by. What an absolute banger. Yeah, there you go. Got your little lights on there. And what do you need? There you go, Vlad. No touchscreen inside, mate. This thing. Jeez Louise. That is nice. Amazon just doxing me there. GG's. Thanks, Amazon. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's a new one on me, man. I haven't seen that. I feel like I'd remember that one. What is it? Frequently returned. Come on, Steve. Own up, mate. I've had dropouts, I bet, yeah. No, it looked like... Oh, Terry Richardson, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Call me a snob, but there's no way I'd have that little nasty thing on my Sony. that is a snob. That is a snob sin, yeah. Digital Camera World Mag. Okay, nice. Definitely not in public. Yeah, I have the X3 and it's not intuitive at all. Really? Okay. Yeah. Etienne, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Beautiful image, by the way, in the share shoot, Etienne. Love that. Love look at that later. What did you say? The X3. Yeah, man. Honestly, the V100. Not even close. Like, it's so good that I actually try and think up ways to use it in a shoot. Right, I got a shoot tomorrow, and I'm trying to think up ways that I could kind of use it in a shoot, just because it's so quick and kind of fun to play with, and you can't fail, right? Because it's like an onboard flash. Obviously, I got the bracket that puts it above the lens, not to the side like some bell end. But yeah, it's like this. Every shot's gold, right? Yeah. Anyone off to the photo show in Birmingham? Going to swing by the Rotolite stand, give them a ball. I think that updating their app. Can I use it on the Pixel 9 Pro? So I was, so Jamie, I was supposed to be on there. You say the Rotolite stand? They're up there under Swain's, I think. So the company running them is like Swain's. Is that right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. So they reached out a couple of weeks ago before I left for Boston and was like, "Do you want to do some demos up there?" I haven't heard from them since. But I'll certainly be going up. Yeah, I'll certainly be going up. I'm not sure what day I'll go up yet though. Saturdays are usually pretty crazy. Alan's going up on Saturday. Okay. You guys use Saturday to Monday. Okay, so yeah, if I go up, it'll either be on Saturday or the Monday. Yeah, so I'll keep an eye out. They come off on the Monday. That's why triggers are so much better than apps. Oh yeah, if you're trying to do it on the phone. Good point, man. Yeah, good point. Yeah, that wears real thing. Yeah. I swear my uncle had one of them. That ancient thing looks funky. It does look fucking wild, yeah. The 70s version of it, yeah. I wrote Godox trigger for my Rotolites, but they can control the colors once in a softbox. So you bought Godox trigger. Yeah, I don't have any of the triggers that can control the colors. I have to use the app. Does the app not work in the softbox, Jamie? I just have the X3 Pro C from Godox and it's touchscreen, TTL, and come on the camera. Nice. Yeah, wrong one. Oh. Let's have a look. I mean, that's almost as bad, man. That thing is a juicer. Look at this. It's even more basic. I love it. That's got a nice little screen on there. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that is not a touchscreen. Wait, Steve, is this the OG pop on pop off that I was just talking about from Godox? Is that what you're telling me? It is. Good lad. Good spot, man. Well done. So Steve found what has to be the OG version of that. That's hilarious. Well done, Steve. Okay. Yeah. So that's literally what we were talking about from Godox there. And I was like, oh, Godox. New ideas? Hello? I should have known better, man. I should have known better. I should have checked with you first, Steve. That's my bad. That's my bad. That's funny, man. That's funny. That's funny. How old is that? Wow. There you go. There you go. You were looking at the Q20. I just saw a post on the Facebook page. What did you see, Jamie? What did you see? What did you see? Post it in the... If you got a link to it, pop it in the share shoot thing if you can, yeah. Hey, Michael from Boston, how you doing? Has the weather got any better over there, Michael? I was over there last week and it was minus 17 degrees C. I don't know what that is in like foreign money, but it was cold. Like, Jesus Christ, I used to do mountaineering and that was like, oh, you have my attention. It was cold. Yeah. Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, hopefully it's warmed up a bit for you, Michael. That was something else. Yeah. Okay. Right then, guys. So, yeah. So, Godox is reinventing the wheel here, but I mean, for 90 quid, it's cheaper than the OG. So, I mean, not bad if you're into that sort of thing. Go for it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Okay. If anybody else has got anything interesting product-wise that they saw the last couple of weeks that I've missed, please let me know and I will take a look. I couldn't really see anything. I had a quick look through. We're going to talk about that in a second. Come back to this. CreativeLive, we mentioned this the last couple of streams over the recent months. End of last year, they were like, we're closing down and then we're reopening under like Hungry Horse or something like that. And it was like, okay, cool. That meant that the people who had CreativeLive accounts can still access their old classes. Okay, cool. Right. But they're actually coming back and actually going to be doing live classes again, which is kind of nuts. Was not expecting them to do that. As we prepare for the relaunch CreativeLive, we've been spending time listening to students and instructors. One thing has become beautifully clear: CreativeLive has played a meaningful role on so many journeys. And that's right, man. It's been around for a long time. It was kind of the first of its kind, doing live training back when nobody else was doing it and that sort of stuff. They just couldn't quite get the monetization right. We've heard stories of careers launched, confidence found, the first place. Oh shit, where is it? For some, CreativeLive was a spark. For others, it was a live. Every creative community tone has shifted. So, where did it say? I'm sure it said they were coming back. Live classes return. We're excited to announce that CreativeLive is officially bringing back live classes. That means real-time learning, expert instructors, and the kind of shared energy that only happens when we're all in the same room together, virtually. Okay, so I'd be interested to see where they go with this. I'd be interested to see where they go with this. They've got some experience there. Hopefully not all that experience hasn't been lost over the years by the people involved and that sort of stuff. So we shall see. This could be too little, too late, right? Everybody and their grandmother's doing kind of online bits and pieces now. And YouTube is just so much more powerful now than it was years ago as well. So we'll see. Yeah. Zero comments. Not great interest in that off the rip. Yeah. Let's have a look. I bought a Godox trigger for the flash mode, but yeah, the app hasn't been updated in 2 years. Ooh, true, Jamie. Yeah, good point. Yeah. I've assumed that no development is taking place with Rotolight. They're selling the kit from 2 or 3 years ago. That's as far as I understand it, Steve. Yeah. I did have talks with them not too long ago, and they are looking at kind of trying to bring certain things back, kind of get some development underway, but very, very slow and very, very tentative at the moment. So, certainly don't take my word as gospel or anything like that. Like I said, just very, very tentative. But, and again, we'll see. But I'm glad that it's being kind of nursed along. Look, I swear by the lights. I really do. I know, I used to be kind of sponsored by them and worked alongside them for many years. But I mean, I wouldn't put my name to a crappy product. And these are excellent lights. So. At the time, people were like, "Oh my god, they're going under," and sort of stuff. And I was just like, I guess, but like worst case scenario, you have phenomenal light. I like now. Jamie is raising some interesting points there about keeping on top of things like the app and that sort of stuff. And there's obviously not going to be any more upgrades for the lights themselves, firmware updates and that sort of stuff. But so Jamie raises some good points there. Like it has been a couple of years. I'm not somebody that updates the firmware in anything that I own, so it's not something that came across my mind. But and I still use them. I used them last week in Boston for shoots. We used them a ton, just because they're very, very quick, very, very versatile, and in my experience, very reliable. I'm using them again tomorrow in a shoot tomorrow. I use them a ton. So yeah, it's not just me blowing smoke when I say that they're good and I use them. Yeah. IT32 is pretty fun. I picked one up 2 months ago. The IT32. Did we just look at that? What do we? Oh, this is the one we were just talking about, guys. You can't look. Don't right. Dementia runs in my family. Let's just leave it at that. Right? Literally just talking about it 30 seconds ago. Yes, yeah, it does look kind of interesting. Have you had a chance to play with it? Yeah. IT32. Why can't they give them a real name? I just checked. You was right. They're going to be with Swains. Obviously, I didn't pay attention. I mean, I think that's who owns them now, Jamie. Yeah, and I wouldn't have known that unless they contacted me, Jamie's. Yeah, so that's not your fault. I do. They, like I said, they sent me the plans for the stand. They are going to have some kit there and that sort of stuff, but it won't be anywhere. It won't be a dedicated stand at all. Yeah, they'll certainly have kit there. Yeah. It's 44 here, 6 hours in. It feels wicked warm after the past month, mate. Shorts on. That's crazy. 6 degrees C. Whew. Balmy. I appreciate you rolling out the freezing cold carpet for when I was there. Grab a Lux Master. I remember those things. Ancient, yeah. No modifiers from Rotolite either. I know, Sin. I don't think. I mean, yeah. You can't modify those things. It's just, yeah. You can just make them soft or softer. Yeah. I tried it just briefly in outdoor shoot during the night. It was all good. Grabs it has TTL and stuff. Yeah, so it's gonna have the same Godox tech in there for TTL. So I'm sure it's excellent. And as far as I'm aware, I think like this thing weighs. So net weight. So the X5 is the little hot shoe thing, and the actual thing. Like it's less than 200 grams. I mean, you have that in your pocket, no worries. Yeah, you can have a bunch of them in your pocket. It's crazy lightweight. Yeah. No batteries in it. Again, I think you have to charge it onboard charging via. Yeah, but there you go. So that weight is for everything. That's not like, it doesn't include batteries. That's for everything. Yeah. They're also going to release magnetic gels soon. For this, that's right. I think they got them on here. Yeah, they got the little magnetic gels here. Yeah. Go on the front. Yeah, magnetic creative accessories. Yeah, there you go. Correct. Yeah. I don't know whether you can buy them or not, but they got diffusers and that sort of stuff. Yeah. I would still recommend you guys use proper gels, just because some of these colors are not great. Unless you're doing a 70s theme shoot, and they got you covered. Yeah. Let's put that. Where are we going? Voigtlander 40mm f2 lens for E and Z, super compact style. So this was kind of cool. If you're into that sort of thing, the old Voigtlander lenses, 40mm, okay, pretty niche f2, but like they look beautiful. That's really the only reason why I clicked on this, was because damn, they look sexy. Shots are kind of as you'd expect. Yeah, I'm not blown away by that, but that could be the camera. Yeah. 500 bucks. Okay. Yeah, I'm less enthused. That's a lot of money for that, I think, personally. But again, niche, right? Let's see what we got here. What I like most about the Voitlander brand is that they make focus ring. The focus ring turned the Nikon way on Nikon mount lenses. Jesus Christ. 40mm, my favorite focal length. Interesting. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, I can't talk. My 58mm is my favorite. So I mean, it looks like there's people who are just got some money to burn and we're like, yeah, it looks sexy. I get it. Fair enough. Why not? Yeah. I saw this. I had to grab this. for Vlad. I had to. Just had to get it.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure
listen to this guy's voice. You have to now as well.
That is going to break the internet. Okay, here it is. This is a roll of film. It's called Neofilm 100.
Big fan of this modern marketing.
Roll out of the box. So you open it up. Got the film in a little canister like this. So here's the roll of film. Except, no, it's not. It's a freaking digital camera. How sick is that? It's literally a little tiny camera. I'm going to take a little selfie of myself on camera right now. Ready? So you take a photo by
those
pressing
colours
on top of it. You can like cycle through. There's loads of filters and stuff you can put on the photos. You can also change the mode so you can record a video with it, and then you can look at the photos you've taken, and you can scroll through using little arrows here. Oh my god, I absolutely love this thing.
All right, that's enough of that before I get brain rot. So yeah, just obviously another little digital MIDI camera. That's funny, man. It's funny. I don't even know what megapixels that is. Like half a megapixels, but it's obviously got the film effects in there, film effects and sort of stuff. Should be 27 inches away. Shutter speed estimated 125th. ISO somewhere around 1600. Clearly not a camera anyone is going to shoot seriously. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. $40. I think we all chip in. We can get one for Vlad for Christmas, and you'll be over the moon. Let's have a look at anything like this. Under the hood is a 1 megapixel. There you go. And this guy's saying here, he's quoting here, under the hood is a 1 megapixel sensor smaller than Kodak cameras. 1.6 megapixel. Each photo is 3000. Okay. And what he's referring to is this little thing here that I'm sure we've all got one of these by now. But you know, if you need the film to go with it. He had a Bowens fitting bracket. Where did I see that? He had a Bowens fitting bracket, which was handy, but haven't sold them for a couple of years. You're still on the landing screen. What's that? I'm still on the landing screen for what? You're still on the landing screen. For what? For the Godox thing. Oh, I'm on the Godox. On the Rotolite. Sorry. Nice. Oof. Oh, this was for the... What was this for? The Innova Pro 3 or whatever it was? Yeah, Innova Pro 3, yeah. I've forgotten all about this. You guys are going to have to sit through all this again with Pro Photo when they bring out their videos I've just done for them. You're going to have to sit through. I tried to breathe in, but I just gave up halfway through. But thank you. I had not realised I was on the the splash page. Yeah. The Bowens fitting bracket. That's right. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I don't think I had one. Yeah, for like the Neo, right? I think you could get it. I think you could get one for the AOS. You could have a softbox and stuff for it. Yeah. Look up the 2040mm f2. Look at these lazy mods. Look, I have to look it up now. No link. I gotta get my own links now. This is just, honestly, this is just something else. Something else. Oh, these things. Okay. 144. I mean, there's no way. I mean, I would have this over that Voitlander personally. Did you see any images from this, Vlad? Have you seen any resulting images from this? Okay. Okay. I need to do my own test, but yeah, it's not. That's a lot of vignette. Not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah. Okay. Not your favorite focal length. 40mm is not. 58 is my favorite. Yeah. Filtrox are knocking out some nice lenses. They are. Yeah. I've seen they've been doing a lot recently as well. Yeah. Did you also get a Kodak Chimera as it's the Labubu of the photographers? It is. Yeah, it is. Like, didn't they sell out within 24 hours, like instantly? Yeah. I think Vlad just bought a bunch of them. I see the Nikon is suing Viltrox for using their mount without paying them a license fee. Is that right, Sin? Interesting. I didn't see that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Nikon is suing Viltrox for using their mount without paying them a license fee. Ooh. The sharks are circling Nikon. Did you see they posted their like annual earnings, whatever, and it was just like way down, which is a shame because I think like some of the new mirrorless that they're putting out are good. Yeah, very very sharp. Yeah, very very good cameras. Yeah. I wonder, Sin, if they'll try and make a spectacle out of them, or whatever. Yeah, whether they'll come down with the hammer or they'll. I mean, because the product's already out there. Oof, yeah, that's dumb. You'll be watching that video in 10 years' time. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Sin, right? If there's nobody at the helm, I'll still be there. Yeah. That's the 2.8, not the f2. Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. Good shout. Yeah, well done. Yeah, well done. So that. I mean, 160 quid. I mean, that's more like it. Yeah. But to say, look, for samples, that thing is swirling nice, but most samples on the videos YouTube copyright. Gotcha. All right, mate. All right. Okay. Yeah. So, thank you for sharing that, Vlad. I would say my experience with these lenses, I prefer the kind of look that these guys have over that Voigtlander one. But personal preference. I think a lot of these people in the comments are just saying it looks beautiful. I need one. Fine. Crack on. Yeah. Now, come on, we all saw this, right? Even I managed to get deluged by this one. Magmob believes it just reinvented the light stand. It's great title, love it. You guys ready to be blown away? You guys into the Michael Bay music, right? Water bottle hanger. So those of you that saw this last week, obviously everybody was sent one of these and was sharing the thoughts on it. And look, I was like, what on earth? Reinvented the wheel. But I got to say, it's got some, it's got some clever little features on there. What do we got in here? The YouTube algorithm actually working there. You see, it actually tried to recommend me the stream that I'm running. I like it. Respect it. So the mag stand, I don't know how heavy this is, but very quick to set up, right? Super quick to set up, which is cool. Very quick to instantly put away. 42 inch, yeah, it's pretty wide, right? I don't know how heavy it is. I need to have a look in a minute, but this seems like a dumb thing, but that is actually a nice feature as well. I've quite often had to invert the legs on the light stand in the past to get it into a tight space. You put them out normally. If you pull it all the way out and the legs come down the other way, so this is actually a nice feature that they've thought about. That you can actually put it in a tight space as well, which is cool. So the quick telescopic thing is kind of interesting, because you're putting it up and you got to crank it and that sort of stuff. So the clicks, like that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So the auto locking as well. So I guess what they're saying there is that it locks itself when it falls down, sort of thing. Okay. Yeah. And the monopod, I've never needed that, but it's a nice feature to have. Obviously, that's just for weighting it down. So it's got this rail on the side here for accessories. So I think they so you can click them together. Fine. So that's a weight, I think, that's coming along. Okay, fine. If you needed that. 11 foot though. Not sure what I'd put up at 11 foot on that thing, but I'd have to test it. Yeah. Premium builder materials. I presume it doesn't. I haven't seen what it's made of, but weight is a big thing, right? So how much does it weigh? Does it say anywhere? So there you go. It's the actual size. So it's a decent. That's not messing around. That is that big one they've got, 11 foot one. It's a serious piece of kit. Weighing it down on the side there, fine. It's kind of cool. Jesus Christ, guys, I'm not sure about that one. Just put the legs out, for Christ's sake. Just why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'm getting a heart palpitations just watching that. 9-foot model is designed for travel and can break down smaller to fit inside a standard checked luggage. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, because we've had travel stands and stuff before, and that's kind of been something that we've been looking at. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Magnetic modifiers support. Boom. Does anybody own? Can you stop doing this outside? Can you please stop doing this baby stance outside? The Magmod is currently available through Kickstarter. Oh, it's a Kickstarter. Early bird price for $145. Okay. For the 9-foot, reflecting a 22% discount, $185. Normal. Okay. Tall 11-foot version's priced $160. 200. So it's really $185 for the 9-foot, and then $200 for the 11-foot. Look, unless you really are going to be traveling with it, I'd be taking the 11-foot all day. Yeah. That stand was everywhere. It was everywhere, man. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They sent it to a ton of people to play around with, and there was just so many videos. And like I said, even I couldn't avoid it. Yeah. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that in a second, Vlad. Yeah, these look good. They do them in pink. Do they? You do them in different colours? All right, you got my attention. Unless you're winding me up. Okay, well, it's backed. So, I mean, it'll go through. So if you guys are curious about getting one, okay, pretty. I'm getting sucked in. It's like maybe I've got so many light stands. Oh yeah, Lindsay have one as well. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. So what deals we got? What can we get here? So we got make a pledge, $1, available rewards. So you get two of them here, 9 foot and 11 foot for $310. £228. Okay. How long have I got to make a decision on this? 22 days to go. Okay. Who's got one? Who's already signed up to this? Be honest. Let's have a look. It's just the 9 foot on its own. It's 155, 114. Okay. 32 backers. Okay. 37 backers. The 11 foot. What? That's crazy. So only 3 backers for the 11 foot. I thought the 11 foot was going to be the most popular one. It's just more versatile, right? I guess people are just traveling with it. What's this one? So 2 9 feet, 43 backers. I'm going to go for the two 11s. That's it. Just to pump up these numbers. They just got some in here. Yeah. I feel like Alan baited me with the pink one. I can't believe it. No pinks. Yeah. All right. Yeah, fair play. So look, I mean, they got some deals on there. I see somebody in chat put the weight down. Gripes put it in there, I think. Yeah. The folding part, Ulanzi, MT79. God, you guys are good with these codes, man. I saw the lights down the size of a backdrop kit. I assume you meant that it looks pretty big. Is that what you're saying? So it's like a normal light stand, but with a ton of plastic parts that are going to become brittle in 3 years. This is where you come for the real reviews from the real people, guys. This is it. I'm giving you the hard truths. Men on the ground and ladies on the ground. I medically need that stand. No wonder my photography is so bad. It was my light stand. Okay. I'll just pack a stand on a monopod so you don't have to faff around with the tree trunk kit. Jesus Christ. Design kind of reminds me of the Leonzi. Yeah. The light stand looks amazing, and I looked at the price. That's it, right? If you already have a bunch of light stands, yeah. But if you're going to replace one, the graphics have got the 2.3 kilos for the small one, 2.8 for the big one. That seems pretty lightweight. I don't know, like my stands here are definitely more than that. Yeah. Does it have a phone charger too? Now he's thinking, asking the real questions. I love how Jake is still searching for the wait, well, the answer is here for a while. All right, everybody's getting chopsy in here tonight. It's just that's true though. That's true. I should rely on you guys to get me the stats, because I was bang on. That's exactly what I was looking. Thank you, Gripes. Yeah. Give it some time. You fuckers. We have to be patient with it. All right, let's move on past these. For $2 for $70, do for now. So €2 for €70. Okay, yeah. I mean, I do have C stands in the studio, so the prime location. It's tough to let go of C stands. Yeah, it's tough to let go of the C stands. C stands is one of those things when you're kind of learning and coming up and you getting your own kit and that sort of stuff, and then you get C stands, and then you have no idea how you've managed to shoot for so long without them. I love these C stands, but if you're somebody shooting out all the time like these guys are, then yeah, makes sense. Like they are pretty lightweight. Yeah. Plus you can hang your little energy drink off the side of it as well. I take one of those over any day of the week, but I don't travel my light stands. Let's have a look. Oh, here we fucking go. Let's have a look at this. 23 quid. There we go. Can we not? So okay, so 280. I don't know what that is in feet, but it's pretty high. Yeah, £23. What's the weight of this one then, eh? So 2.5 is the same weight as what we're looking at over there, right? 2.8. This is 2.5. Okay. So it's not actually that much lighter than those mag mod things. Okay. Oh, and this is what Vlad was talking about. Is this what you meant, Vlad? The tops of these things that have the that is cool. That is cool. I do use those. I don't have many stands with it, but I do use those. So you can pop the spigot out and put it on its side if you want to put the light at a right angle and that sort of stuff. It is actually pretty useful. Pretty useful. That is a crazy price for those stands, man. That is nuts. That is crazy. Yeah. Damn. And they're all metal as well. I mean, even the bits down there are metal by the looks of it. That is a crazy deal. That's a crazy deal. Yeah. Thinking that I do own one of those 270 Electron boom stands that I never use. I have a boom stand that I never used ever since I got my C stands. Yeah, just a gimmick. Project getting absolutely ripped. Mate, I'm used to it in here, mate. Honestly, it's terrible. I saw that, but importing from the US increases the price, even more for EU shipping import fees. Okay. For someone who DIYs lots of stuff, can't see buying one, Jake. That's true. That's what I'm angling for, Sin. Maybe if I butter them up, they'll send them on them to me. But you're absolutely right, Sin. Yeah, I'm way too tight to buy another light stand when I've already got like a dozen here. Your wallet will be lighting. yeah. Identical to the newest. Okay, a silver pair and a black pair. Nice. Yeah. Happy listing us as well. Get those Poland, Romania, super close shipping exclusive. Okay. Good spot on that though, Vlad. Yeah, that is that's a crazy deal for those metal ones. Yeah, that's nuts. That's crazy. Yeah. I do not use AliExpress. I just my first port of call is eBay. I should get into the habit of looking on here. Yeah. So do they know they don't ship to the UK, or I'll look at that another time. Yeah. Is that what you guys were talking about? Yeah. Okay. So look, I think the jury is out on Magwells. We got some people in here who absolutely thinking sliced bread has resurrected itself from the dead, and this is it. And look, I think if you looking for a fancy new light stand, yeah, I don't think the price is unreasonable. In all honesty, I don't for what that is. Jesus Christ, guys! It's just two of these for 200 quid. I don't think that's unreasonable, personally. Now, for those shopping on AliExpress, yeah, it's crazy money. Yeah, so there you go. So 2 of the 11 foot. I don't think that's I don't think that's too much to ask for that. But 9 people. Like, come on, guys, it's just crazy. Check it out. What else we got in here? Oh, these. I think this is hasn't this problem already been solved by those quick release softboxes? The ones that you just fold out. Like, hasn't this problem already been solved? They're super quick. Those ones that you pop up now, softboxes that you pop up. Do you guys have any of those? Like those, because Profoto do like their beauty dish, like their new beauty dish is just pop up. It just folds open like that. It comes out of a bag. Boom. Job done. It's good. I mean, it's pricey, but I mean, it's good. Yeah, I feel like this is searching for a problem that has already been solved. Personally, yeah. I can put the speed rings on there for, yeah. This is pretty well five shows. That might be expensive. Grid is €1,000. How expensive are these things? Pricing, availability. Oh Christ! Hasn't been announced. That's not good. Anyway, yeah. Did we get that VAT? Oh yeah, good point, Steve. Yeah, big fan of that. To be fair, Rotolight did some nice compact light stands. That's right. Yeah, I've still got those actually. Yeah, they even had the legs that were telescopic legs as well. So the whole thing would go up, and it had telescopic legs. Yeah. I will say, Sin, when I was working for them, and I was shooting on location with them for one of their events or something like that, I had to use their stands. Scared the shit out of me, putting like the EOS 2s on that little travel stand, and it would just be like, I was like, please. It's just, I so wanted to put it on a proper stand. But it, like, to be fair to it was fine. It never, it never blew over or anything like that. Yeah. I have the SD-MV32 flip, great for smiling and great one. Yeah, the pop-up, very very handy for location shoots. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I feel like this is a bit late to the party. Friends going to the show look to buy those stands. Do you reckon they'll be at the show, Alan? You think those Magmox stands will be at the photo show? Could be. On the Kickstarter page, it says sales tax VAT will be calculated and charged in your post-campaign for the month. Oh, Steve, mate, you're a legend. Hey, Steve's on here keeping me out of trouble. You see, I did not realise that. Thank you. So that's added 20% on this. Too expensive. It's way too expensive. Yeah. They do wobble a bit. Yeah, they do, man. Yeah. Not spending too long on this, but the OM systems, formerly Olympus, before they got into hot water with the CEO gambling all the money away or whatever it was, and they had to change the company name to dodge the debts. Long story short, Olympus is now called OM Systems. Brought out a camera specifically for kind of astrophotography, which I thought was kind of wild, but like the images are beautiful from this little thing. I was just like, nuts, crazy. The more impressive thing here for me is that OM Systems is still going strong, right? I feel like you never see anything from them. You don't really even know they're still going, and yeah, they're still out there bringing stuff out. Going down to the pricing of this thing, the Astro 3 will be available for $2,500. That's in funny money as well. So, I mean, I think if you like, astrophotography is such a specific niche thing. I think if you're already into it, you already know what you need, and you've already got a system in place. I don't know. Like, I just like, it's like, ooh, because I've always wanted to get into astrophotography, and I'm like, ooh, let's have a look. $2,500 is not like, it's just like, it'd be cool to try out. But the point is that they're still making stuff. I don't know whether that's to keep some business agenda afloat or whatever it is, but I don't know how many of those they're going to sell. That's right, Sin. Yeah, the EOS 2 Pros on the Rotolight travel stands were wild. Yeah, that was for the beer. Some nice Astro Macro. Is that right, Vlad? Is that kind of what they've got their little they've got the little army of. Let's have a look at the comments. Let's have a look. 105 comments. Fucking hell, Vlad, you're not wrong. Holy hell. Okay. Yeah, you're right. These fellas are insatiable for it. All right. Okay, mainly it's just two dudes arguing, but yeah. All right. I mean, creating interest. Anyway, I'll give them that. Yeah, you're not wrong, Vlad. They've certainly got their followers on there. Yeah. ProPhoto embraces AI and generates outrage among photographers. This is like we've all heard this story a lot now, but keeps popping up. I thought I'd mention it just because ProPhoto really should kind of know better. This is what they put out. ProPhoto: only those who understand light can make AI generated images feel real. For photographer Inez Thompson, lighting, direction, contrast, and intent define how AI interprets and extends an image. Where the lighting is intentional, results feel believable. When it isn't, the illusion breaks. So I don't know how much of that image is fake. I mean, Lindsay Adler is what, sponsored by Profoto, has been for many years, and she's put out a bunch of AI videos recently. Well, a bunch is a bit strong, but certainly a couple, I think, and that's with the backgrounds and that sort of thing. So I don't know why this lady doing it got everybody hot under the collar, whereas they haven't been pissed off before. So everybody lost their mind, and they probably said, "Update. At least we got attention around AI, your communication skills, our communication skills. Oh, thank you for calling it out, holding us accountable in conversation, Profoto. Okay, we take your craft very seriously. This is Profoto speaking. If you have seen the video and the conversation we have been driving last year, you know that it's not about replacing photography and image creation. This is about staying current to the technology shifts, and AI is part of everyone's reality these days. We firmly believe that lighting, the people, and the studios behind it are indispensable heart in all image creation. When you mix your lighting skills with AI-generated backgrounds, this is one output for your creative power as an artist." So I'll just quickly cover a couple of comments. Obviously, people losing their minds. Yeah, what are you guys fucking thinking? Asking for you all decided that you hate photography. Probably a slight overreaction. Photo industry is at the verge of collapsing because of AI. Again, it's this slight exaggeration. You decide to promote AI. You're aware photographers are gone, and you are gone too. Okay, you guys are really missing the mark here. So yeah, just general. Yeah, okay. I mean, angry people for sure. But I don't know why this particular post got under everybody's skin, whereas I've seen a bunch of sponsored Profoto people doing the kind of AI backgrounds and that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I don't know why it kicked off here. Even the response is AI generated. Totally hear you. This is about real photographers, real tools. That hasn't changed. The pattern of 3 is their giveaway. Christ, this is how bad we're getting now. Just paranoid about everything. Why should I buy gear from a brand who despises my craft? Okay, guys. Okay, let's fucking rein it in just a little bit. Yeah, let's Jesus Christ, absolutely crucify this poor woman, man, whoever it is. Bloody hell. So yeah, like, you got to be careful. I've kind of a reason I bring this up. I shot several big shoots for Profoto late last year, which they haven't released yet because they've been going backwards and forwards. I wrote very extensive articles for them, and they still haven't been released yet because they are going backwards and forwards with everybody in the Profoto higher ups, making changes and adjustments to make sure that the right message goes out. Right now, I haven't I've just I've made changes that they've asked for, and look, I haven't been asked to lie or do anything like that in any of the article. Nothing like that at all. If anything, they've asked for a more rounded response to some of the lights. My point here is that I'm kind of really surprised that Profoto at that end, and granted this is website promotional video and all this sort of stuff, so certainly at a different end of it than just an Instagram post, but it's just crazy to me that how strict and regimented Profoto are. Even the models and the types of poses and the clothing and stuff that they're wearing was fairly strict, right? And sure, fine, great. That's fine by me. That's the job, and fine. I'm just puzzled at this kind of getting through, and then them just kind of fumbling the ball so much. I suppose the people running social media and Instagram aren't going through the same rigorous constraints that the rest of the Profoto website and that sort of stuff is. Yeah, I was just kind of interesting, and I kind of wanted to mention it just because I thought some of the responses were just like, guys, can we just can we calm down? Yeah, Jesus Christ. I hate AI as much as the next guy, but let's just keep it in the realms of reality. Yeah. Someone who works closely with Profoto is disappointing. They shoot themselves in the foot. That's usual stuff, right? Yeah. AI software is only a tool. When you get the knickers in a twist over a tool. Okay, so people are just going to obviously kick off on that. Anyway, usual AI drama. Yeah. It's really about how you serve it to people. It's true, Gripes. It's true. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a fine line, right? How it like you say, Grabs, how it's delivered. I think if it's just for some reason in a cold post like this, they just got ripped for it. Whereas if they have one of their photographers, talking to camera, speaking about like the benefits of AI and that sort of stuff, like that's okay. But yeah, no, I mean you're right. The only difference here is delivery. Yeah, it's just a corporate apology after a corporate BS post that some marketing intern who thought AI was the buzzword. Vlad boiling it down to, I mean, not wrong, mate. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yep. Good to see Size 50 instead. Oh, is that for Astra? Okay. Great. Yeah. I mean, I have always wanted to do it. And I think when I've gone fully senile, I'll just be out in the garden and taking pictures of the stars. Oh, Alan's talking about the mag mod being at the show. So he said earlier on, friends going to the show to look to buy some of those stands. And he says that's what, and Alan follows up with, that's what he told me. He is friends with them. So maybe mag mod will be at the show. That'd be cool. Yeah. If that's the case, Alan, I'll definitely have a look. Yeah. Everyone who's stacking 100 fibers of a single bug is using OM1 or something like that. That's APS-C. It's a tiny sensor on this thing. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's kind of crack on now. We've you guys have just been nattering on for a while now. We can skip through. Oh yeah, this is just some of these. This was Paul Coxage, whatever, artist. Love what this guy does, but this is obvious to us as professionals. But this is the room. I just thought this was kind of cool that he made this ceiling, essentially just scaling up a RGB panel. If you look closely, if you take the cover off and inspect the LED lights, is kind of what they look like. But yeah, it's a really good example of what white light looks like once it's been passed through all that. I find it crazy, right? That you have that beautiful example. Yeah, very, very cool. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this was kind of interesting as well. The most expensive photo shoot in fashion history. They spent more than $7 million, adjusted for inflation, to shoot the Great Fur Caravan in October 1966. And that sticker shock still echoes through the fashion industry, clocking in at roughly what would be around $7 million today. Vogue's 26-page Winter Odyssey in the Japanese Alps wasn't just expensive, it defined extravagance. Snow-capped peaks, layers of lush fur, supermodel Vershak striding like a mythic wanderer and 7-foot sumo wrestler cast because Diana Veerland wanted her editorial to feel like a fever dream through the close of the catalogue. Just kind of an example of how far Vogue's fallen. That's all I really wanted to say. Like, they would never spend money like that again. And I suppose you could argue that the industry doesn't have that type of money anymore. I don't know whether I agree with that. I would say that the industry has more money than ever. It's just that Vogue is more interested in clicks rather than trying to lead by example like they used to. But interesting. I think this is Avedon as well. Yeah, produced under the editorship of Veerland and Richard Avedon. Behind the lens, this editorial has long been hailed as one of Vogue's most costly fashion shoots ever, testament to the glamour stretch at most extreme limits. Yeah. That's the first comment, by the way. That's hilarious. Now they're like, can you do this but for $700? Like, it's not wrong. I guys have told you in the past as to how much certain Vogues will pay people even for covers, right? It's fallen a long way. Beautiful images, but did most of the budget go to Avedon's fees? That's a good point. I don't know how much he would charge for that. Yeah, I showed Vlad this earlier on as well. This is kind of crazy. So this is like this kind of adjustable diffusion or filter that enables you to add data to the shadows, like the low contrast filters and stuff work if there's light coming into the lens, right? And I've used them before to bring up shadow detail. I've used a diffusion filter or a low contrast filter, should I say, to bring up shadow detail. but they really only work if there's light coming into the lens. So what this guy has designed here, or team has designed here from LuxCon Filter, lets you expose the highlights and still retain usable detail on the shadows by adding a controlled amount of real light optically during capture. So, I mean, some of the examples he shows you, like there is no light hitting the lens, so he's able to add light to the sensor almost by having this very even spread of light across the lens itself at point of capture. Kind of wild technology, and it's kind of crazy that I haven't seen this before, because I just, it seems like such an obvious solution to this very unique problem, and it looks like they've done a beautiful job with it. So yeah, I'll keep an eye out for what anything else that comes from it. But yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. It's really about how you said, oh yeah, I want to play with that thing so much. It does look cool, Vlad. Yeah, it does look, interesting. Especially seeing as you can control it, you know, colors and everything, right? So it's, the sky's the limit with it. Yeah. Okay. So that's the news. Let's have a look. Let's have a chat about Fujifilm GFX. I got it here. Let me just grab it. Fucking hell, this thing's in the way. Let me just grab the lenses as well so I can show you. Okay. So, those of you not aware, Fujifilm GFX is a medium format digital camera. I've always been kind of hesitant in the past because it's like basically the borderline size that you can get away with calling something medium format. So, you know, like the old 6x7 Pentax used to shoot, just incredible, massive image frame. So this medium format is, you know, just coming in. But here we go. So APS-C, which is what we were just chatting about earlier. So it's 35mm. So this is what most of us shoot on right now. Whether you're shooting a full frame Sony or whatever, this is what you're shooting on right now. And then this is the GFX chip out here. So one way to think about it is that it's the same jump up from APS-C that 35mm is. It's the same jump up again to medium format. So it is noticeable. It is. Does it have the same depth as like a, you know, old film Hasselblad or the old Pentax or even the Mamiya's and that sort of stuff? No, it doesn't. But it's still a healthy, you know, jump. And again, if you liken it to a jump from APS-C to 35mm, everybody's like, oh my god, yeah, night and day different. You know, it's kind of the same again, as it were. Okay. So the other thing is that GFX, now that we know the size and that sort of stuff, you know, is going to be, there's like 4 or 5 of the GFX cameras. They have the 50 and the 100. So 50 is the 50 megapixel and the 100 is the 100 megapixel, right? So let's have a look here. We have this cool thing here which we can look at. So GFX 100. This is the OG, I think. This is the very first kind of one here, the S, right? So the first one, so the 100S, so that's probably the closest, and now one that's closest to it. Okay, yeah. So first off is going to be, do you need the 100 megapixels? I don't think you do, really. Like, unless you're doing something specific. Maybe you're doing still life, like high-end food photography. I could see that. High-end beauty work. And it would need to be very high-end for you to need that. The other major difference is going to be between the R and the S. So I think the R is rangefinder, if I'm correct. And the S is like that one I've got. I've got the S2. I don't think the S2 is in this lineup. I could be wrong though. 50R rangefinder, and then the, yeah. Anyway, so I've got the newer version of that. Right, like the 100 is a lot, and the files. You remember you got to deal with those files as well in Post Pro, right? So you got to open them up. You got to store them, whether it be on your memory cards first off, and then you got to. I saw a post earlier on about the cost of memory cards going up purely because of the AI development is just gobbling up all the resources, and now even the cost of memory cards is starting to go through the roof. Like the AI development is just gobbling up so much resources for electronics that everything is suffering. So you got to store it on a card first, then you got to store it on your computer, and then you got to have backups and that sort of stuff. So you're doing a shoot with this thing, it's going to be a monster, right? So mine here is the GFX 50S2, which is not labeled here. So the S and then the S2. So the S2 is a newer one, same 50 megapixels, right? And then we got some comparisons down here. So better autofocus and that sort of stuff, which is one of the reasons why I was like, you know what, let's get the updated one. But other than that, not a huge difference, right? Tilting screen if you're into that sort of stuff. Well, that one's got that one as well, but yeah. This one does have sensor image stabilization, which I'm not used to it on the DSLRs, but when the files are this big, any movement you see it, right? So the image stabilization is something that I didn't think was a big deal, but on images of this quality, any movement at all and you see it, especially when I'm shooting LEDs, right? I'm not shooting flash, so it's not like 4,000th of a second like flash would capture it. I'm capturing it maybe something 125th or maybe 250th if I've got the juice for it. But so the image stabilization with LEDs I think is kind of a must, right? Now the reason I say this is because I was doing the shoot, there was some long exposure images, and the long exposure images were fighting against me moving the camera on purpose for the long exposure. It was actually kind of wild as to how impressive the image stabilization was, because I noticed it and I was like, I am moving this camera a lot and it's not showing. Like, what the hell's going on? So went into the menus and turned that off, and it is definitely noticeable. So I've got the S2 50 is going to be fine, right? So that's kind of where we're at with that. Nothing crazy, like it's a camera, right? You screen on top, screen on the back, that sort of stuff. The lenses, obviously specific lenses, and let's kind of have a look at some of these images. I actually don't have Lightroom fired up. Let's just open it up. I don't think there's anything fucking dodgy on there. Shit. Should not have opened that up on stream. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Never any doubt. Okay. So this is actually it. Yeah. So it was, if you don't know, last week I was in Boston shooting. It was some one-to-one training I was doing with a guy in Boston there. He's got his own studio. Beautiful space. We were doing some setups over there, playing around with a bunch of models and doing a whole different bunch of shoots, which was great because it meant that I got kind of opportunity to test out the GFX doing a bunch of different things, color being one of them, right? Color was a big one for me. I'm really curious to see how the color was going to stand up with these things, and long exposure as well, right? So I was able to test out the long exposure on this as well. So look, I mean, this is long exposure. So this is the actual, this is 5.6, half a second, and crisp, right? Very crisp, and I think it caught this eye back here, but considering I'm moving the camera, long exposure, like I was pretty impressed, Yeah. Again, I think it caught the back eye here. But this is what I mean, like on a DSLR, you wouldn't see the difference between these two focus points, but you can definitely see it. I mean, you might not be able to because of the stream quality, but like this eye is definitely sharper than this one. Whereas again, you just probably wouldn't see that on the DSLR. In fact, I know you wouldn't. Yeah. Let's have a look. I'm just waiting for Fujifilm to release digital X-Pan. Oh, really, Grabs? Yeah, okay. Yeah, interesting. Do you think they will? Because they designed it for Hasselblad originally, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. If I recall, yeah. Tony, is that you? How you doing? Morning, mate. Megapixels equals life. What do you? Because you're shooting on the Sony, right? Sin. So what are you at? You at? I forget what you're at. You're at around 50 again, right? I've used the original 50, and the files are just gorgeous. It's tough, man. It is tough. I will say. And you go, come on, Jake. Like you can't compare. You're shooting on the old Nikon D850. And how can you justifiably jump between the two? Let's have a look. So I got the Nikon ones here. Let's make sure I don't see anything too risky. So so these are the Nikon ones. I don't like, some of these might even be in focus. Never know. So 100%. Now, granted, I think I have settings applied to that. I've just realised, which is not fair. Let me just see. Let me just copy. I don't think there's a mask on there, but just copy it over anyway. Let's just see. I just want to see like for like over here with the Nikon. So obviously it's actually for some reason kept the aspect ratio from that one very overexposed compared to the I mean, one of these might be in focus. So look, you see, I was worrying about the eye on the GFX being out of focus. And again, you go, Jake, you can't compare something that's like 5 years old or 10 years old or whatever it is. Oh, this one's in focus. There you go. Okay, so that's, and remember, this is a 24-70 lens. I'm using a 50mm prime. This is 48mm, so it's pretty much the same focal length as the GFX. But yeah, okay, so that one is actually in focus. The right eye's in focus, but it doesn't have the same, anywhere near the same data there in the eyes, right? Granted, that is so like definitely considerably more data there, and nobody's surprised at that, right? Nobody's like, come on, Jay, it's just like, comparing apples to oranges, you can't really, but still it's interesting to kind of see how much extra it is, because you got to remember the D850 is what, 48 megapixels, and this is 50 as well or something, so 45, 48, something like that. So in terms of megapixels, it's kind of the same. But it's not about the megapixels, it's really about the chip and the data and the technology within that chip. So these two cameras, the D850 and the GFX here, are pretty much the same megapixels. So it's really about how it deals with the data that it's been given. And I'm sure the lens plays a role in that as well. Yeah. Is it loan? Did you actually buy it? I actually bought it, Jamie. Yeah, no, I bought it. Yeah. I had a couple of decent gigs come through, yeah. Does the GFX have X-Pan crop? I don't think so. I haven't seen it in there. I've gone through all the menus pretty extensively. Maybe it has it on the 100, Vlad, but I haven't seen it on the 50. Yeah. So yours is 61 megapixels. Okay, Sin, gotcha. Yeah. You can put those borders on something else. So the camera's allowed to do that too. It's essentially going to be the same thing, right, Grapes? Yeah. Can't you choose which eye it picks up? Well, it's long exposure because, sorry, I should have said this, Alan, and you're right to bring it up. You have to remember that I'm shooting in the dark. She's not being lit, so that's kind of why I was impressed by this, because this is long exposure. So if she was lit, she would be blurred. So only the background is being lit in this. So this is kind of why I was, and that's my fault for not mentioning that. So her face is not lit. So it's hence why I'm at 5.6. Typically I would kind of be shooting at maybe 2.8. I'm doing portraits, something like this. but because it's in the dark, her face isn't being lit, I'm kind of focusing on the edge of the head, as it were, right? And then the 5.6 is going to give me a little bit generous with what's acceptably in focus. So that's why I'm shooting this type of shot at 5.6. So yeah, to answer your question, can you choose the eye? I was kind of, it's on the GFX, it's got a square and it goes face detected, and then you just go, okay, I can turn that off, which I need to experiment with to actually just have it fully manual so that I am convinced, or I know what eye it's focusing on. But in the dark like this, I was kind of impressed as to, not impressed is a bit strong. It worked, right? What's kind of crazy about this is that it does have, you guys probably can't see it here, but up there is an autofocus light. Now the Nikons have had that off since I think the D10. That autofocus light kicks in, man. You really notice it. It's super useful to have. So it did have the benefit of that kicking in, although it wouldn't always kick in because of the light behind the subject. So you're kind of fighting against the lighting with these. Yeah. GFX has higher bit depth. It does, and it's kind of noticeable in the colours, which we'll have a look at in a second. Yeah, my word, you bought it. Welcome to the Mirrorless labyrinth. Only there ain't any bisexual rock stars down here. That is comment of the year, mate. You might have won that one. Yeah, we're only in February. I respect it. Either that, or you're now on a pod person from Invasion of the Body. Yeah. You can choose the I and the X series. Okay. So I need to look at, because there is a bunch of things that you can play around with in this, with the autofocusing, also the shutters as well. So I was trying to get again, still kind of playing with it, but I need to get the shutter to make a noise so the model knows when to move, and then you can only do that on certain shutters, and certain shutters wouldn't fire the flash, fire the hot shoe. So look, I'm sure there's a way as to do that, because there's like I think maybe 4 or 5 different shutters you can choose from, mechanical, electronic, combination of the both, and then other variations of that. And there's a sweet spot in there that I need to find. The same goes for the focusing as to how you can dedicate. There's eye sensors, so it looks for the face and that sort of stuff. Whether it picks up the close eye or not, I need to experiment more. But this was focusing in the dark, which is like worst case scenario for it, really, right? So heavily backlit, no light in front, so it's just picked up this eye again here rather than that eye, but like more than acceptable. So I was kind of impressed that I was able to do that. So fine, okay, happy with that. It's still very much for community. I haven't heard the community in a long time, man. Yeah, that was great. So here we go. So remember, this is the RAWs, right? So this is the RAW here, and this is still on the actual Fuji lens, right? So ISO 320, 2.8, 125th. So this is all LED, right? And this is the new Profoto L600Cs. So I know a bunch of you are sick and tired of me banging on about these things, but if you're not sure, misspelled Profoto, but we got there in the end. So these things, right? These things are nuts. These things are absolutely incredible. Now, so this is what Profoto commissioned me to shoot with before Christmas last year. So we did a whole kind of campaign, several shoots using just purely these. At some point, they will release that. Again, it needs to be verified and checked off by the powers that be, but all that is done and completed, and the images from this, absolutely beautiful. And that was shot on the D850. So when those come out and you see the images, remember that the images that you're seeing from that will be shot and are shot on the D850. But using these lights, right? And that's what we're using for these. Just incredible colors, absolutely gorgeous colors, right? So again here, this is the actual Fuji lens. Yeah, Fuji lens. This is the Fuji lens as well. Beautifully crisp here. Tons of data in the reds here as well, which is really, really nice. A lot of data is being pulled out of these. Why am I saying that? Well, because I wanted to push this as far as possible. So I'm gonna reset this, and I want you to see how much color we've pulled out of this, because this is more of a pastel look, and dark skin as well, wearing a dark outfit. So I'm kind of curious as to how much data we can kind of pull from the from the file, right? So that's why I kind of pushed this so dramatically. I was kind of curious, and it's held up really well, right? It's held up really well. No kind of color merging, which is often happens. I think it happens once in a minute, which I'll show you. But even there, I can't see it on the edges where I would expect the colors to merge. Here, where the two colors are blending. But I mean, it's worth bearing in mind. I have been shooting a long time. I would say that the lighting was bang on, right? So I am giving it the best possible opportunity, but still, it was able to maintain a ton of data here, right? Beautiful color depth here in these blues, yeah. And again, in the reds, which is notoriously difficult to kind of maintain data in the highlights as well. Beautiful. I was really impressed. And I was not anticipating. I was thinking GFX would be fun, right? A little treat, play around with it. It's not really a workhorse camera for the sort of work that I'm doing, but it'd be cool, right? It'd be cool to play around with, maybe shoot alongside the D850 and that sort of stuff. It's going to be difficult for me not to just try and adjust the way that I work and my workflow to try and make sure that this D850 is kind of the main camera. It's going to be slower, I think, and there's going to be like less shots in focus, I would say. And the reason I say that is because the quality is just so incredibly high with this chip, is that anything that's slightly out of focus is out of focus. Whereas on the Nikon, it can be slightly out of focus and it'd be like, yeah, that's in focus, like that's as close as it gets, right? So any kind of miss on this is very noticeable. But again, like even here where the light is skimming across on this, so this is shot on the old Pentax lens. Okay, so this has got a converter on it. So this is the old Takuma Pentax lens here, and this lens is from the 1970s, right? So it's a very old lens, but beautiful lens. So this is the 105, which translates to roughly around just over 90mm when I'm shooting it, which is actually a beautiful focal length for some of these headshots, right? So this is a beautiful focal length here, right? And this is the same lens here. It says f1 there. This lens is 2.4 when it's wide open. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous drop off. And it also has these bokeh, which is more like halo bokeh. You don't often see. So here you might be able to see it on the nose. Maybe you can see it on the nose, like the kind of halo bokeh, which is kind of cool. It's not gonna be for everybody, but it does have a beautiful, very creamy drop off. And the drop off of this lens is crazy. Like how quickly it drops off into shadow is absolutely beautiful. That converter I bought, it's like 75 quid. That converter is a German guy who makes them. It's, I can't believe he sells very many of them. Super niche, but I mean, he's done a beautiful job. It's a beautifully crafted piece of metal. I can't imagine anybody is ever gonna need that, but if anybody is in a situation where like, you know what, I got a GFX and I need to shoot 1970s Pentax lenses, let me know and I'll pass on the details, because it's a beautifully crafted adapter. Yeah. So again, this is the kind of the older lens. This is what I mean here, where we kind of get where these older lenses render these out of focus areas, and that's where the color can start to break up. So in these lenses, you can start to see it a little bit, but in the Fuji lens, you don't get that color breakup. But yeah, you can clearly see the halos there, the little halo bokeh. Beautiful. And again, you guys might not be able to see this on stream because of the bit rate and yada, that sort of stuff, but the quality of this is insane, absolutely wild. And this is a lens that's over 50 years old. 55, 56 years old. is crazy, like the quality of this. And I think it's pretty exciting. I think there's a ton of lenses out there that have just completely slept on, just on a shelf. I'm guilty of it as well, right? Of just having lenses on a shelf, not really doing anything, from old film cameras. And it would be incredible to see new lease of life in some of these lenses on this new GFX, like some of the old Hasselblad lenses. Beautiful, beautiful. And I think this old lens here, this is one of the more expensive ones because it is widely praised for being a beautiful lens, but even that is only 250 or something, 250, right? And that's one of the more expensive ones. So I think there's a ton of phenomenal lenses out there that are just kind of being dormant, right? And it kind of goes to my point. I wrote an article many years ago that said, basically, that compared a 1970s Nikon lens to a 1990s Nikon lens to like a 2010 Nikon lens or whatever it was, and you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference. Obviously, the newer lenses give you a little bit more convenience, but lenses have been very clear, very transparent for a very long time. And if you have any old lenses, especially with focus peaking on the GFX, is what I was using to shoot with these old lenses. A bunch of you are already shooting mirrorless cameras with really impressive focus peaking. The adapters are not that expensive. That's one of the most expensive adapters I've seen because it's so niche, but I'm sure there are tons of lenses out there that you could play with that would give you some beautiful, beautiful images that are well worth looking at. So again, this is natural light now, and this is with the actual Fuji lens, so ISO 800, 663mm. This is in daylight. This is just in front of a metal door that we found, and yeah, beautiful, beautiful lens. Now I also shot it on the Pentax lens, okay, and look at the drop off, right? Look at the drop off between the background. Now, granted, this image here is the 90mm Pentax, right? This is the 50mm Fuji lens. Look at that bokeh drop off of the background. I mean, that Pentax lens throws everything instantly. She can't be more than 3 feet from that door. It's wild, absolutely wild. Just beautiful, beautiful, an absolute, such a pleasure to shoot with. And again, focus peaking, it takes a little bit longer and that sort of stuff, but like I just think that the results are worth the effort personally. Like I said, she's 3 feet from that door compared to the Fuji lens there. Granted, 50mm versus 90mm, I get it, but still, just gorgeous, gorgeous drop off. And again here, yeah. And again, like, this is the RAW, this was just playing with the RAW. And this is a preset that I gave you guys for Christmas this year, wherever it is. Yeah, this is a Christmas preset, wherever it was. Yeah, so, and again, this is the Pentax lens, and that's the Fuji lens. So at 3/4 length. Definitely less noticeable. Oh, that's the same Pentax. Oh, that's the Fuji lens there. So 3/4, that's the door, versus the 90mm, that's the door. So beautiful. Yeah, you can see the bokeh back here. That's it. Yeah. I have a Nikon D mount 135, and the pixel peak means I can shoot in manual mode on my ZA, and it's great soft lens for portraits. Yeah, I think the pixel peaking takes a little bit to get used to, but I think once you've done it for a few times and played around with the settings, like, and you understand kind of what you're looking for, and like playing around with where the peaking comes in, because obviously the peaking is a decent range. It doesn't show you just like it's like the eyelashes are flashing, that means that's in focus. So you're kind of playing around with it until the peaking gets into the range that you want. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, especially once you're locked in here. Like you're getting it in here, and then I was kind of finding myself just like, rather than moving this big old thing around, you kind of get it there, and then you're just kind of shifting I mean, I'm exaggerating the movement that I was doing, but you're just kind of shifting a little bit, right, to match her movement as well. So it's pretty quick once you get the hang of it. Yeah, obviously not as fast as autofocus, but some incredibly gorgeous lenses out there that are just not being used. Yeah. That M4 MacBook, I noticed how long it took to load the files through the stream. There's a lot in here, but it is a big old file. Let's have a look how big the files are. That's the other thing. So these files, even though I think the Nikon D850 is... Oh, it's off an external hard drive flat. That's why it's slow. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, so it's coming through daisy chain of cables. I think that's why it's slow. Yeah. But I think these files are 100 megs each versus the Nikon, which is 45. Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody else here shoot with manual focus lenses at all? Has anybody else played with it? Again, like manual focus in like the DSLRs was doable. I had live view set up with a loop, so I had a loop that was attached to the tripod bracket mount on the bottom of my camera. I had a loop that I could use the live view on the back of the D850 because you could focus peak through live view. Obviously, you couldn't focus peak through the viewfinder, so I would use the live view focus peak through a loop. So, you know, it was kind of a jerry-rigged system to make it work, but it was doable. Because a bunch of the lens babies are all manual focus and that sort of thing. They had a velvet lens, and I've got a gorgeous Petzval lens. Beautiful lens. And again, focus peaking on that through the live view and then a loop. Not ideal, but workable. But on mirrorless cameras, you can focus peak through the viewfinder. Come on, guys. It's just no excuse not to be using some of these beautiful old lenses that have such a, you know, towards the outside of the frame as well. We got a little bit of movement around the outside here. But yeah. I've had an old Helios that I like. Yeah, the old Helios, was it 55 or 42? I think whatever it was. There was a couple I had. Yeah, they were good. I got a fisheye, which is manual focus. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, fisheyes are pretty generous with focus in my experience. You know, if you're on like a 90mm like this, you really got to kind of nail the focus, and it really kind of shows when you don't get it. I think fisheye is typically, in my experience, when I was shooting fisheyes on full frame DSLRs, pretty generous with the focusing. So I think you should be fine on that. Yeah. Newsflash on mirrorless, lots of us don't use viewfinder at all. That's bullshit, Vlad. I know you're lying. I know you're just baiting me. There's just no way you guys aren't using the viewfinder. It's crazy. It's just no way. Helios is 58. It is. That's right. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. Because of the focal length. Yeah, exactly, Gramps. Yeah. Let's have a look. So the old ProPhoto plug there. I don't think it's been announced yet, but I am now part of the ProPhoto, whatever it is. I can't really call it a team, or whatever they call it, creators, whatever. So that I've got my code, creator code, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I need to get that all sorted out with them. Yeah. So this is the image. Let me just give you, if you're interested, if anybody's interested in this, even remotely, right, I would urge you to, here's a link to my Dropbox, right? So this here opens up my Dropbox, and these are like the full size. They are JPEGs, but they're full size, like 4,500 by whatever it is, 4,000. So the big old JPEGs. If you're interested at all in seeing this, take a look, because these are beautiful files. And I'm trusting you not to fucking divvy them out, but yeah. So they are like huge resolution files that are worth kind of pulling up and opening up, because like the drop off back here is something else. It really is something else. Yeah. I think all of these might be on the Pentax. Thinking about it, that isn't. That's on the regular one, I think. Yeah, but I think these coloured ones are all on the Pentax. Yeah. So if you're interested, take a look, download the images, open up in Photoshop, zoom in, and see what's going on. Bear in mind that those are retouched, right? So those images that I've given you now are all retouched, and they've been kind of finished in Boris FX with just a little bit of noise back here, just to kind of give some data to that color gradient back there. But worth having a play for sure. Yeah, for all the pixel peepers. Exactly, yeah. If you're interested, yeah. Like I said, a couple of you in here have, been known to be nerdy. So I thought some of you may find those files interesting, yeah. But using my Hasselblad 150 on my DSLR camera, great success. Oh, nice, Andre. Okay, interesting. 150 mil on the DSLR. So what mil does that turn that into on your DSLR, Andre? Do you know? It's been seduced by the mirrorless gods. It's true. I know, Sin. Yeah. Like I said, I was expecting to just have this GFX on the side, play around with some arty-farty lenses, grab a few shots whilst I'm shooting with the D850, and cool. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna try it tomorrow. We've got a shoot tomorrow. The D850 will be next to me in case things fall apart. But I'm hoping to do the whole shoot on the GFX, and we'll see what it can and can't do. A lot of my work with the long exposure stuff, that was kind of what I was curious about, especially focusing in the dark. Seemed okay, especially because it's got an onboard autofocus lamp, so it was seemed fine. The colors are beautiful, so it should be good. Yeah, it should be fine. But we'll see. Like I said, all the D850 batteries and stuff are charged next to me, so I will have it on standby, yeah, just in case. Yeah. Andre, that will give a very shallow depth of field. Yeah, that'll be crazy. Yeah. Any questions on any of that? By all means, let me know. If anybody's got any queries, or anybody was curious themselves, or like, do you know what? Yeah, I've been thinking about that, or medium format mirrorless, or whatever, or the GFX or something. I'm not by no means am I a master of it, but if anybody's got any questions or queries about it, and they were wanting to know anything more about it, then yeah, let me know. Let me put this down. You've done a good job with that. I don't know where the fuck I'm going to store that bloody great thing, but let's see. Right then, let's have a look what you guys have been shooting. As always, share a shoot times. We go through some of the images you guys have been working on. Every Monday we do a share a shoot, and then every couple of weeks when we do the live stream, we kind of bring these really black and white. Really, is that necessary to punish everybody like that? If you're interested, pop your images in there in the comments. We can have a look. And we got a lot this week, so let's have a look. We got a lot of good ones as well. So Vlad showed this to me earlier on in the week, which I thought was really cool. Vlad, you gave me that link like right at the start of the stream. Is that for the? Oh no, that link was for the curves in Lightroom. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Have you got a link to this video, Vlad? Because I'll share that. Because I thought it was pretty cool. So what Vlad's doing here is he's bought this kind of plastic painting sheet, and he's shooting light through it. Got this beautiful kind of ghostly effect, which I actually thought was really cool. I haven't, like, the plastic sheets that I've kind of had, I've done this in the past with these plastic sheets. They were much thicker than this, and it was kind of more silhouetted. Thank you, Vlad. More kind of silhouetted than this was, but it looks like he's getting a lot of data through this. Like, you can even make out the ear and that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I got there in the end. I got there in the end. 10
self-portraits in the studio because I feel like last year I haven't took enough photos. This is the second video in the series, and today I'm playing with color and texture.
See how transparent that is? Like, the ones that I have are just way thicker than that. Liking the light stands, Vlad? Nice. 23 quid well spent, mate.
And since the plan is to have the camera here, focusing on the plastic while I pose on the other side, I think we have to talk about the way I'm going to remotely control it. starting with a very long HDMI cable so I can monitor my poses from the other side of the drop cloth. Because I don't want my phone to be visible in frame, I'm triggering the camera with this small remote control from PGY. And I have to say, this remote is a real gem. It connects directly
Vertical monitor.
to my camera over
Nice.
Bluetooth, and because I was monitoring everything on the big screen, it was really easy to tell when I was in focus and when the camera was trying its best but failing miserably. And finally, I want to briefly talk
That's what I was going to say about the focusing on that. It's got to be a nightmare, but I mean, you managed to get it done with the setup that you
about
had.
my light setup. When you're doing this type of a shoot, you have three types of light. First of all, we have the lights that are bouncing off the wall behind of the drop cloth. This is going to help the light look really diffuse and create a nice backdrop. On the other hand, we can also place lights directly towards the camera. This is going to accentuate the silhouette and is going to direct more attention towards our subject. And finally, by placing a light on a side of the plastic sheet, you can get more texture out of it because light would bounce into the plastic.
So oh fuck, sorry man.
Because I feel that I haven't done enough studio work lately, but I've talked a lot about gear, I think it's about time. Hi, I'm Vlad, I'm a photographer, and this month the camera.
So I bought some.
This is going to help the light look wet, and it's going to direct
Some like very clear, you know, the stuff they wrap flowers in, which is like perfectly crystal clear. And I wanted to do a shoot where it was kind of pinched, so you should just see like shards of color as it's skimming across the side of it. So I think that could be a cool thing to play with as well.
more attention towards our subject. And finally, by placing a light, you can get more texture out of it because light would bounce into the plastic. And while I opted not to use this third type of light for my final photos, they still have a ton of texture and I absolutely love how they came out.
Good stuff, man. I've really liked it. Yeah, good stuff, man. That's cool. Yeah, actually, again, like I've done something like that in the past, but it's been more silhouetted because the plastic that I've had was super thick, so I haven't seen this thin stuff. So I'm kind of interested to see, yeah, what, you know, I might have to give that a play. Yeah, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I know you've seen these, but any CC is welcome, as well as, since you forgot, I think you named the 3 places where you can put tone curves in Lightroom. Since you forgot, I think you can name the 3 places where you can put tone curves in Lightroom. I have no idea. I will watch that. So Vlad shared a video at the top here. I said I was going to dash away to speak to that guy delivering that package. Vlad has put a video up here as well, which I would encourage you guys to watch, because I certainly will do, because I can't remember. Yeah, here you go.
Did you know that
So I'll pop that in chat as well. Have a look at that as well, because I certainly have no clue where the 3 points are to put tone curves in Lightroom. I think I know somebody in here who might know, but yeah. CC on this Vlad, no, I think it's good. I actually really like this scuffed texture effect that's coming in here as well, like these scratches and stuff. And the only thing I was kind of thinking when I saw this is like, would it be possible to maybe have more of it elsewhere? But I think it's only really showing up in certain contrast lighting situations here, where maybe the light's catching it, maybe these scuffs are everywhere so we can't kind of see it. But I do kind of like this textured scratching effect coming across here. Almost like kind of long exposure movement, which would look like if it was all going the same direction, but I think because it's crisscrossed, it's kind of cool. So look, in terms of what you're doing, I think it's a great idea. I love in the YouTube video you had a shot where you turned off all the lights apart from the background lights, right? What I think was cool about that made me think about it.
Hi, I'm Vlad.
Was let's have a look.
Photographer.
Where is it? Here. So it was a shot where you just had the lights on in the background. I can't find it here, but it was nothing else in the foreground. I was thinking you could use this sheet to actually create this very soft gradient back there, and then just shoot normally in front of it, right? You're almost using this sheet like a diffusion, like a thin scrim back there to give you these beautiful gradients of color on the background. So I can see that working as well. I can't seem to see I mean, it's kind of there that you're in there, but it was a shot where you weren't standing there and you had these beautiful colors in the background. So I could kind of see you using it without you back there using it to get these beautiful color gradients in the background, and then you standing in front of it could be cool as well. But yeah, very cool setup. I might have to get some of that sheeting. Shot for Christian here, playing with the body stocking. Oh yeah, these things are crazy. Yeah, I've always seen shoots with these. I never actually used them myself. Of course, with strobes and gels. Here, mixing red, orange, purple, plus the frontal 90cm octabox for a bit of whitewashing. Okay. And playing with the body stocking. Here, mixing red, orange, and purple. Okay. So we got the orange on this side. The other thing with the lighting here, Christian, is it looks like the lighting is coming up. There's a slight exaggeration, but it's coming up more. We have the light on the bottom there. I'm always kind of really wary of that, and just maybe just trying to have the lighting coming down. Just raise the height of this light up, and then have the light coming down a little bit more. Maybe it's just because it's super close. Maybe it is just a strip box or something that you got. But yeah. I also think the whitewashing from the 90cm octa, I'd be interested to see what it looked like with less power on that. Because I think you could probably still get some, pick out some white light from her with the other colors. You could probably still do it. But I think this is a really cool idea. And I think the body stocking thing has so much scope for colored gel lighting, so I hope you kind of play with this, or maybe you've got a ton of other shots that you kind of already played with and you haven't shared yet. But I think the body stocking thing has this great opportunity to kind of block off certain colors and then have other colors coming through. Plus, because it's so dark, it's very easy to kind of control the light on the skin. I think there's a ton that you can do with this. Plus, I think you can get like nude body stockings as well, which are going to show up a lot more color, which might be worth playing with. But I think this is cool, and hopefully there's more scope to play with it even more. Yeah. We've got Edgar here. I've used Painter's furniture covers. Yeah, I've used the old. That's exactly what I got. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. The Painter's covers, and they were very thick. Yeah. The answer is curves panel baked in as a camera profile. Okay. Yeah. And masking. Oh, true. You do it in masking. Yeah. That's right. You said about that. So you could trick the mask. I think you told me about using a mask and then removing it, and then you could layer up the curves like that. Okay. Yeah. I have to look at that video. Definitely do that. It mixes the light on the wall nicely. Exactly, yeah. That beautiful kind of gradient where it's not kind of stepping as much on the wall, like it doesn't. If it's just you don't have anything there, it can kind of step if you bring two colors quite close together. But that looked like it was blending them beautifully. Like remember, as a set application order, it doesn't matter the order you edit in. Exactly what I explained in the vid. Yeah, cooking and cleaning. Okay. I'm gonna be I shot this on the Sony A7R4 with an 85mm lens with the Godox 8400s. Nice. Lens filters to create the soft blur and overall effect. Yeah, okay. So I kind of like these artifacts that we can get. I wonder what this is. Yeah. But it looks like you had fun with this, especially shooting in the home as well. You're trying to bring in lots of lights in like a small like home studio environment. Yeah, I could see it for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what filter this is. Lens filter. I've played with a bunch of things, but this seems very angular. Mine has always been a lot more refractive and broken, like with crystals and that sort of stuff. But this is almost like a, I don't know, like holding a glass rod in front of it. It's cool. Yeah. I also like the colors as well. Yeah. Just kind of would see a little bit more data down here, just a tiny bit. It's probably in the raw file if you were interested to kind of bring it out, just so it's not this kind of like the bottom third of the image kind of not being used, as it were. There's probably some data in here. It doesn't need to be much. It just needs to be something that's not just a heavy splodge, as it were. But yeah. Again, it's probably in the raw, but yeah, might be worth checking. Oh, right, hey, doing, man. Long time. Shot this with us. It's been a long time, mate. Yeah, good to see you. I know you've been in the stream all night, but yeah. Long time. Shot this with silver beauty dish for a friend. Nice. I like the detail in the hair. Often it's too dark. Agent wanted high contrast detail, tone, not retouched yet. Okay, so yeah, so Brett's just sharing the raw here. I think he's gripes in chat and in stream, but yeah, a lot of texture in the hair here. The silver beauty dish is going to give you that contrast, right? So I think, you know, in terms of the highlight on the skin and contrast, and it is a little bit colder, but I think you definitely get away with silver beauty dish, especially on darker skin, is really nice. And the biggest thing with dark skin and, you know, the hair that goes along with it is that their hair can soak up the light, you know, and it can be kind of concerning. Sometimes you just have this just dense, just black blob. I think you've done a really good job. There's tons and tons and tons of data in this, and you said it's unretouched, so the raw file, no problem at all. Like, you've got tons of data to push and pull with here. So in terms of execution and that sort of stuff, yeah, bang on. I think it's a touch bright, but I think it's easy to knock it back. You could probably knock back the face. Again, the hand, and again, because the hand on dark skin is often kind of lighter, especially on the palm and that sort of stuff. Just be mindful of knocking the brightness of the hand back so it's not distracting away from the face. But again, kind of like you have to do that in post. You can't really do that, in camera, as it were. So yeah, just keep that knocked back in post so that the face is definitely the main feature. And yeah, good to go, man. Good to go. But yeah, great shot. Again, tons of data in here. Fill light is not too aggressive. I see you got the fill light here, but like not too aggressive, as in there's still shape and form there. So I think it's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Clean. Yeah. So, will Anthony get me banned for this? I guess we'll find out. I shot this a while ago. Sigma 85 f14. F14? Okay. F14 ISO 50. Shutter speed 1/4 second. Okay. Yeah, see the movement there. Ambient light from the neon signs and 55cm gridded softbox 8200. Okay. So I presume he's shooting f14 to try and control the light that's in the room, right? He hasn't got a lot of choice. He can't. He's already got his lowest ISO here at 50, right? So he's crushed as much light as he can possibly get out of it with his ISO. He can't adjust the shutter speed because it needs to be 1/4 second so that he can actually get the movement. So the only option he has to control the ambient light in the room is going to be through his F number here. So that's why it's. I was questioning F14 before, but that makes sense now. Yeah, and then he's brought the 55cm gridded beauty dish. Nice, 8200. Nice. Yeah, I wonder if that's. Is that, yeah, I don't think you're in here, Anthony, but you could be. If you are, I'd be interested to see if that is the big boy Godox beauty dish, the beautiful one, like the beautiful big curve on it, because the size and the grid, and it's on an 8200. So yeah, I wonder. But great stuff. I think overall you could still afford this shot to be darker. Personally, I think you could afford this shot to be a little bit darker. Never going to get color break up there, so I'd probably just do it with a curve. Just change this to luminosity just to try and get the colors a little bit cleaner. And you could even go again here with apply image. Come on, Jake. First day. And this will just target the highlights. Again, make sure that's luminosity and that sort of stuff. Again, this is going to be way easier when you have the raw data, right, in Lightroom or something like that. But yeah. But you can see, I think you can definitely get away with darkening that down, and just going to show a little bit more tonality to the shot. I don't think it needs to be as bright as it is back there, personally. But yeah, look, the shot's there, the image is there. Just darken it down a stop in Lightroom, and you're probably good to go. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And you know, here as well, like, well done for kind of working through the problem here. You know, if your ISO had been at like ISO 400 and you had f14, I'd have been like, come on, man, come on. But like, you worked through the problem, what you could and couldn't adjust, you know, and definitely made the right call on the day. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's looking cool, Alan. It's looking good. Yeah, I was experimenting with color gels, although I'm very limited to ones to use. Let's get some proper gels and polythene. So this is similar to Vlad's polythene, right? As I quite like the texture. I had a gridded softbox as main light. White light. I don't see any white light in here. Hang on a minute. Red gel reflector for backlight, which is obviously back there, somewhere back here in the corner. Still need to work out power ratio. Blue gel for floor. Okay. Also reflectors and modifier gels that go on. I did message to see if I had any gels left for sale. Oh, did you? I'm sorry, Alan. Yeah, maybe I was away. I do actually have, like, I've got like 4 packs, I think, left. Yeah. If you message me on Instagram, I will probably see it. Yeah. If you're interested, yeah, I do have some packs. They are literally like the last 4 ever packs remaining. Yeah. So if you are interested, yeah, I do have them. So yeah, I can't see any white light in here unless I'm missing something. But look, tonality and stuff here, very black, jet black trousers or shorts here that would soak up the light. We've got beautiful tonality from this blue gel on the skin. I think this is great. I think this is really good. We don't have any clipped data anywhere. The red back here is obviously an issue because it's coming from a single point. It'd be great to see some way of spreading this out. I know you're limited by space and that sort of thing, but yeah, like trying to, if you have another light, try and balance it out at least, or try and make a feature of it. So if you're going to have one down here, have another one up here on this side, try and kind of lean into the feature of it. But I think this is a cool shot. It's a cool shot. Yeah. Yeah. See the way this floor has gone, this kind of purpley color as well, which kind of cuts the frame at a third there, which is pretty cool as well. Yeah. Nice. The trainers are my favorite thing here. Yeah, these fluorescent colors have had this effect happen before. These fluorescent colors don't get affected by gels. I think the image is gone from my website now, but I think it is gone. Yeah. I mean, you can actually, it's not the image I'm thinking about. You can kind of see it here on the shoes. Like, some of these fluorescent colors don't take color gels. You can kind of use that to your advantage. Again, there was a shoot that I did in London many years ago, and the designer had these kind of fluorescent stripes on the outfit, and they just didn't take the gels, but it looks really cool. So you can use that knowledge to your advantage. Yeah, especially you can get fluorescent paints and that sort of stuff. Yeah. There's one from Wibbly here. Usual dressing up shoot with lovely Daria. First shoot 2026. Nice. Congrats, man. Congrats. Clean as always. I like it. Good colors. Good data. So we got some texture and stuff back here. You know, again, when I'm talking about backgrounds being kind of clipped or, you know, being muddy and that sort of stuff, I think, you know, this is fine to have it dark like this, but as long as there is some data down there, it kind of alleviates our eyes. Like our eyes will kind of be put off by just clumps of dead data or dark corners and that sort of stuff. So what Wibbly's got here is really nice. So is obviously, as soon as we open this image, we're immediately sent, you know, to the brightest part, which is the face, and then we have, you know, the darker background, but it's not so dark that it's kind of leaving us feeling anxious about what's going on in the shadows. Again, good colors, right? Yeah, nice warm and cool tones. Good stuff. Oh, we've got a lot going on here, Sterling, love it. I'm sorry I've missed joining in on the discussions. I've been in an old man sleep mode, and of course you start at 2 a.m. my time. Yeah, true, man, true. I finally got a house and set up in Bangkok, and this is from my first shoot in my home studio shooting area here. 1 second to f22. So again, Sterling falling into the same issue here with dealing with the ISO issue and the brightness of long exposure. As soon as the shutter goes up to 1 second, you got to try and get that lighting under control. So f22 again is going to help with getting stuff in focus in the dark. Yeah, you saw me kind of switching to f5.6, which is something I never normally do, but when focusing in the dark, it gives you a little bit of breathing room. Used a 7-inch reflector on the strobe, which was crushed in transport. Oh, nice, yeah. So I decided to crush it in the other side to make it totally original hard light elliptical modifier. Our strip box I was going to use is a little damaged in transport. Jesus Christ. So it was on the fly substitute. Invited the wonderful Rossi Coty Kitty model to shoot with her husband. Did some soda for it too. Nice. Okay, it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Yeah. Again, I think we could afford to kind of keep these long exposure images just a little bit darker. I think we can afford to do that. Especially here. You can put some contrast back in there if you want, but yeah, I think just and again, as soon I'm darkening down the JPEG, so I'm starting to get these weird banding and artifacting and that sort of stuff. But in the original, yeah, it also brings back a little bit more contrast to the dress here as well. Yeah, very cool though, very cool. Love the colours on either side, really nice. Got you in here. You can use sets of masks, but the total used to max out 200% of the mask is from Prism FX lens. Oh, Edgar says that. Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you, Edgar. Do you know which one it was, Edgar? Because I've got a couple of the Prism FX ones. Yeah, I've got a couple. This is cool, though. This is cool, yeah. They do some good ones. A little bit pricey, but yeah, they do some good ones. Yeah, I explained that each sign has another angle of light trails. Is that right? Oh, a good spot, but I didn't see that. So we got one coming down here, one coming over there. Is that what you're saying? That the fact that you think these have been blended, like the backgrounds? Yeah, maybe. So you're saying like this is a loop here and this isn't? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'd have to ask him. Yeah. Good spot though. Long exposure is funny. I'm maybe you're right, but yeah. I can't see it going the other way, but you could be right in that we have one going straight down here, and then the kind of the loop there. So I'm not sure. Long exposure is always kind of funky, so I wouldn't want to put money on it either way. So beautiful shot from Etienne here with a Godox BFP and AD600 Pro 2. BFP. Big effing projector. Like, what is it? BFP. Yeah. I presume that's the spotlight thing. Is that what you mean? This is very cool. And what Etienne's done here is really nicely kind of leaned into a single color, because I think we can kind of imagine what this shot would have looked like without the colorization, unless he's kind of added in this gel here as well, which he might have done actually. Yeah, I could see the kind of the brown gel, always a classic brown gel, or maybe it's just done with CTOs, like color temperature orange gels, and then he's played with it in post. Either way, I think it's cool that you've added this very strong color, skin tone color to everything. It works really well. They've got this light dark thing going across here. I think it's really cool. Yeah, really cool. I would probably keep that vertical. I'd probably just keep that line vertical. But yeah. And then we have this, whatever this is here, this line here. Maybe you've extended it, like extended the image, and then it's kind of done that band there or whatever. Yeah. Speaking of that, do you guys know that in the updated version of Photoshop, it's actually got the generative fill now. Jesus Christ, Jake. I couldn't see my keyboard behind the microphone, my bad. So yeah, so if we, I don't know, if we can do like, so in here you got some versions of generative fill, and then in this latest one it's double the pixel count. So like I think the previous one before was 1024 by 1024 pixels, regardless of the space that you had, and now I think it's like over 2000. So if you use generative fill or expander of that, just update your latest Photoshop to the one that came out last week, and you'll have more data in your generative fills and expands and that sort of stuff. I didn't see it marked anywhere. The other thing as well I noticed down here, which I haven't looked at, is clarifying clarity and dehaze. So we got that now. Oh yeah. Okay. That's actually not terrible. And then we got, oh, the grain. Oh, it does have size and roughness. Okay. Okay, so they've added that as well. So yeah, if you haven't updated to Photoshop, this recent version of Photoshop, worth grabbing it. Yeah. What else we got here? Jake totally love this. As always, have awesome models, but it's cool to see this diversity. Oh, you're talking about the black model? Yeah. So, yeah, obviously you're right. One of the things that I'm kind of being stubborn on is how easy dark skin is to work with color gels, right? You may have noticed that when a YouTuber does a color gel video, they usually have dark skinned girl, and just because it's just so incredibly easy to work with. So it's just me being stubborn, really. It's just kind of gelled lighting in easy mode, but you can't argue the results, right? But their skin is absolutely gorgeous to work with color gels. So yeah, like if you can't get a half decent colored lighting shot with a dark skinned girl, you know, I don't know what to tell you, because it's just so beautiful to work with. Yeah. BTS from latest shoot, work in progress, Medusa. Nice, Nev. Okay, I have to hold you to that. I'd be interested to see what you're working on with that one. Got one from Joe here. Love this great work, as always. A recent one from my submission. Okay, cool. This is nice with the two colors, right? Just having these two strong colors with the kind of the reds and the cyans here. Love this textured concrete stuff. That's really cool. It works so well, even with the tattoos, right? The green of the tattoo and the red of the rose. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I still think you could kind of play around with the colors in this a little bit. You could probably lean into them just a touch more. It'd be interesting to see what you could come out of it, what you could get out of it. I don't like. Again, I probably need a little bit of time to play with this, but even darkening it down here, just a little bit again, just to bring out some of those tones. I think there's stuff that you could do there for sure. You know, maybe in the channel mixer you could start to push and pull these around a little bit as well to get some of these to pop. Yeah. I think that's probably a bit too heavy on the red, but I think there's stuff that you could do with the colors here to kind of double down on them, because it's quite a busy image with all this stuff going on, and I think tightening up those colors even more, especially seeing as those colors are already in the shot, I think it would benefit from maybe just having another look and see if you could tighten those up a little bit. Yeah, with a grade of some sort. Yeah. I'm convinced there's something there. I would need to have a little bit of a push around with it. There's definitely something there, for sure. Yeah. Cool shot though. Yeah, and again, love the colors that you've gone. Like, works really well. Like even the tattoos and stuff, working with those colors is really cool. Yeah, good stuff. One from Tony here. It's been a hot summer here, so Tony's from Australia, so he's getting zero sympathy from us over here. Watershoot can't really post them here, so I presume he's been getting ladies in the water. Again, he's probably just posting this just to share it, but again, like we can definitely benefit from darkening this one down. Yeah. I don't know about that Australian water, my guy, man. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Don't know if I'd be getting in there. It's looking a little bit sus. Right. I think we are. Oh, is that it? That's everybody. That's a good crop tonight, guys. A good crop. Yeah. Good crop. Good stuff. I mean, incredible quality as always. You guys never disappoint. But beautiful images. Tons of color. Tons of creativity. Long exposure. You know, you guys playing around with these plastics, getting some DIY action going. Some beauty shots here, looking good stuff. Classic white lights. Always got another long exposure. Yeah, this is really creative as well, with the strong colors again, grading, cool kind of outfits and that sort of stuff. Good stuff as always. Like, you guys do not disappoint. Beautiful work. Yeah, really good. I just playing this thing. Fluorescent orange will pop up like crazy with blue light. It's some of the fluorescence that you can get, Plaid, is wild. Yes, some of the effects. So shame I can't bring up those images, but yeah, like the stuff that you could do with fluorescence. I always wanted to do stuff with UV paint as well, even like UV makeup, but one of those kind of jobs that never really found its feet. I used the chromatic flare FX filter, split diopter. I did wonder if it was the split diopter because of how, yeah. Chromatic FX flare filter. Oh, it's literally a glass rod. No way, I was right. That's crazy. That's funny, man. I said that. Yeah, that's nuts. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, good stuff, man. Okay. Yeah. I mean, they're not cheap, are they? I've got a few, but I don't remember. I think they've gone up a lot since I bought them. Maybe I got them in a sale or something, but yeah, that's a cool one. That's a cool one. Yeah. And the what? Split diopter. Jesus Christ. Fat fingers, I apologise. Oh, using this thing. Okay. Actually hold it up there. Okay. Yeah, these things are good because you can focus right and then bring it in. Sometimes I have a problem with some of the lens filters, like some of the Lens Baby ones as well. Like, they're cool, but because you have them in front of the lens, like, you can't focus. Whereas I think sometimes these handheld ones do a good job. You can kind of focus, bring it in, take the shot. So I think these handheld ones work well. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Those of you who haven't seen Prism Effects, check them out and do some good stuff. I think it's a little bit. I think they're getting a little bit pricey now, but they do sales and stuff. Yeah, check them out. All right, then, guys, look at that. We're pretty much on the nose for time. Good stuff. Any questions or queries? Let me know. We're going to start wrapping things up here. The old hound heard me saying time to wrap things up. Yeah, I think I didn't really go too much into the Boston photo shoot I was going to, but we can maybe look at that at a different time. But GFX RAWs, having to play manual focus lenses, like, there's a little bit of extra effort, but I think there's some beautiful lenses out there that are definitely worth playing with for sure. Speaking of the Boston trip, remember that was a one-to-one training. If anybody is interested in any training, whether it be online or in person, then let me know. You can reach out, do the online workshops here. I'll pop a link in there. So these are the online workshops. These ones are kind of we do via video call, take 2 or 3 hours, or you can do one-to-one mentoring, whether it be here in the UK. I've got one a couple of months coming up. A guy coming over from Saudi, do do a couple of days in the studio with him. So yeah, if anyone wants to do one-to-one shooting, then it's always good. And then we do online mentoring as well, so you can check that out. But yeah, check it out. Yeah, no worries, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Always appreciate the input. Always good to hear, you know, the nerdy stuff that you guys are working on. Cheers, Edgar. Take it easy, man. Jamie says I will at some point post an image, but remember to do the whole YouTube thing. Oh yes, do what Jamie says. Please make sure you hit subscribe or whatever it is, you know, the bell and all that sort of stuff. So at least you'll be notified when we go live again, in case you're, you know, don't receive the emails or something like that. But yeah. All right then, guys. Been an absolute pleasure as always. Stay safe, take care, and whilst I look for the page to close this, I shall catch you in the next one. See you again. Take care, guys. Bye.